Two people were found butt naked outside of a house while dead. Oops.
Oh man.
Oh, not
What did
again.
you do? Sorry, my brain's looking at a few notes that I'm gonna have to change and stuff. But nevertheless, we're gonna jump back in time like 2 days from where we left off last time, more or less. To finalize what actually happens to Alucard kind of after his resurrection um thing. So this kind of picks up after session 6-ish.
Question, Seth. Was
Hmm.
it decided that Farwin would make an arrangement with Veer of the Eighth House? Because like
Yes. That was the loose discussion, but there was still opportunity for both Setch and Mel that weren't in that scene to I don't know. I just wanted to go back to um that idea for a brief moment. But yeah, I think that's part of the discussion, but I thought I remember there was a discussion where we wanted to jump back to this. If not, then we'll jump to the other thing.
Even know Alucard was resurrected, so
Well, there we go. Let's do some recaps then. Um Let me jump back a little bit. So, goodness gracious. Yeah, okay, it's been a while. The last time we had Mel with us in
was so long ago.
actual like connection
I
was
want to
sorry,
say,
session 58 when Mel finds Birdman with Amu and Killian.
yes, in the face.
Uh at her apartment waiting for Alucard to like show up with the elven buddies. And we jumped to the forest folk for a bit with that too. There was lots of chaos in 58. That was the last time we were kind of with the forest people though, sort of. We jumped one more time to them, but in the next session. And then they have control over a monkey construct thing. And then session 60 was the next one with the city that Mel was in the background, if I remember correctly. What did I put? This is when Setch goes down into the caves and tunnels underneath the city, and he meets with this strange foxkin druid, and he gets all this weird imagery of what the beast basically wants. And he then starts to make his way to Mel's apartment. Like we're on the way. That's funny. Then we start to make our way to the like everyone's trying to make their way to your apartment for Alucard. And
Okay.
then session 61 was in the background. That's when you sent me the message about what you were doing a few weeks back about like
Mm-hmm.
you're just leading the 12th house, like being a model example for things.
Yeah.
And the everyone's waiting for the Sith Lords to basically bring Alucard's body. Um, and they go through this weird magical process to awaken Alucard. He's not exactly dead. Um, they have to use Greater Restoration and Dispel Magic. And then the in the process of that, we have our Tenebris has been hunting this rogue. And then last session, that's kind of where we pick up on. So it's kind of like we were waiting, I guess, like if we want to do a scene with Mel finally returning to the apartment, because that was kind of the inevitability that was going on, but I guess it doesn't necessarily make we don't have to. But just like what we've done since Alucard's resurrection, um, is there was a bit of time, I think, like for those things. There was like, if I remember correctly, where's 60? I didn't open 61.
From my understanding, from the chats that we had from session 58, when
Yeah, 61 during all that going on, like the 11 p.m. resurrection thing was like halfway through this like 36-hour period that was going on before where last session kind of picked up on in the morning of the trial. And then we had chaos ensue. So things got changed a little bit. So basically, like, there's, I think more or less the point I'm trying to get to why we're stopping at this map. Now that I think I explained it more. Um, is Mel has like 24 hours to play with, and if there's anything Mel would like to do with these characters now that everyone's like together, this is like the one of the few scenes that the whole party is actually together, like for the city. So like there's opportunity if anyone for Setch or anyone wants to like develop any connections between those people. If not, then we can move on to the next thing. So,
Mel wants to find such.
um,
Oh
so
boy.
okay. I met Setch was I believe was planning to come back to the apartment. I had that written a few times between session 60 and 62. Um, just last session got distracted with the trial, the chaos of it. So I imagine at some point in the day or night, you could run into each other, outside Mel's apartment,
Somewhere.
or at the coffee shop where you guys used to drink coffee all the time.
Oh yeah, Mel would
Be-
totally hang out at the coffee shop trying
before
to,
thing,
see if she'll run into
before
him.
things like jump out of proportion. So, okay. Uh, Let me then ask before we jump to that little scene, is there anyone else that wants to do a brief, any touch base with anything with Mel or Setch who weren't like part of those build-up movements before we go to that? I don't know. When we all know that an earthquake eventually happens, it's
Mm, I mean, Almu doesn't have any
Mel
reason
does
to
at
touch
some
base.
point want to see Birdman.
I was going to say Farwin at some point, well, Farwin would want to have a conversation to touch base on the truce that Mel proposed with Farwin.
Damn, everybody's out here touching base. Damn.
touching base. Okay, so I'm gonna
Touching
just
my
we're
base.
gonna stay on this map just because it's easy and you're all here. And I moved your tokens just to kind of like go in order, I guess, of people. Don't want to say any, do anything. This is during when Tenebris is looking for Oatom, so he's out and about during the streets at this point.
Ah.
During that's kind of during that.
Oh boy, is it
Okay,
touching running again?
so
Uh,
then I'd be in the tower, but don't worry, Seth, I have a way to still
yeah.
be.
This is around that time period, but we could say it's like before then too. I don't know. We're in the flashback can be wishy-washy.
The
It's fine.
Twilight Zone.
We're in the twilight zone of time because there was like honestly like more than an 18-hour period where you guys there was a lot that could have happened in that 18-hour period. Um, but nevertheless, Setch, I like the imagery of Mel, sitting there, coffee, like one of the first scenes we first saw her back in like session 10, you
Yeah.
know, kind of thing. And Setch opens the door, and is Setch, or is he?
Yeah. No, yeah, he's such.
By the way, there's like 4 guards outside the coffee shop
Yeah, yeah.
and some scattered throughout, you know,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
hanging,
he's
drinking
such.
coffee.
He's not trying to hide himself from Mel or anything.
Okay. You
I would say
probably
she's
not
so
necessarily pat
consumed
it
with her
down.
coffee, she doesn't even notice.
Yeah.
Like, the guards look at him like, what you doing? But Mel is just staring into a coffee cup.
Looking mostly unassuming, the guards let you pass in. They seem like one of them says like, "Oh, I think he knows her," and like they kind of keep an eye on you, but let you inside.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's other patrons and stuff about. Not the busiest it's ever been, but there's people.
I just walk up to the table and just sit down.
She's just staring into the coffee.
Are you good?
Where have you been?
Where have I been? I've been doing a lot of things. I've been sorting a lot of stuff out.
You didn't think to reach out at all?
I mean, I did tell you that I was gonna be doing stuff.
Yeah, but I assumed you would at least send, I don't know, a letter telling me, hey, I'm not dead.
Well, one thing kind of led to another, and that kind of led to just a lot of
Mhm.
bullshit happening. Gonna be honest.
I've heard some strange things.
Okay.
Do you want to tell me what's going on?
There's not really anything going on.
What do you mean? What have you been up to?
For the most part, investigation for sure. Investigation on the Tarask, investigation on the binds,
Hmm.
investigation on other people. Just a lot of investigation, to be honest.
To what end? What are you searching for?
That is a good question. I'm also searching for ways to empower the house, as well as other things.
Hmm.
And what have you been up to?
Forming my house. Clearly.
And how's that going?
Obvious
It's in
reference
and
to the
out.
trial in that tone. Like everyone by this point is talking
Yeah.
about the trial and how, you know, like Alucard's in the process of being traded right now, but like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, Mel is like,
He's trying not to like go. He knows that. He's trying not to, fucking bring that up.
Mel looks very uncomfy. um, there's just been a lot going on. Just trying to make it clear that the new 12th house is here to assist the city. Tell him,
Tell him,
Jinx.
Cat. Yeah, you tell him, Cat. Indeed,
Can we just make a vampire kid?
I concur.
uh,
Yeah.
Mel's carrying around a vampire cat all the time.
Yeah, vampire kid is canon now. It's in the vault.
That's just the
You know
way.
what? Could Mel have found a dumpster cat as well?
Not the dumpster
This
cat.
is the city of salt. Yes.
there are many, many, many creatures on the streets of the city of Salt, so I
But you have to
imagine
be
yes.
careful because there's actual people in this.
Some of them.
There's.
I learned that one the hard way.
Jenny, there is a house cat race that I made, so that is true. Um,
But
that are
this is just a cat.
yeah, it could be just a cat too. That's fine. Um,
You got dumpster cats.
Yes, it's just
dumpster
here
rats,
squeaking from Mel's pocket.
dumpster
Who was
dogs.
that?
Oh, I am. I found something this morning.
uh,
Great acting. Wonderful. You're doing
Method
so well.
acting.
So
Yeah,
good.
it's part of lore now.
Needs an Emmy.
An Emmy.
Huh? What's your name? What did you say? Sorry.
Needs an Emmy award.
Emmy Award.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I found this morning, and she pulls out Little Kitty.
That is a little thing. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. This is why do you
It was
have that? And where were you
sure.
looking
It-
to get that?
I just listen. One of my guards apparently was throwing something away and found it in the dumpster, and it was dying. So you know what I do with dying things.
Please don't tell me you're gonna turn into a null.
No, it turned into a null. It's a vampire.
Its eyes
You've
flare
turned
red.
You've turned that cat into a vampire.
Don't treat after me.
It was dying.
Gonna be honest, I didn't know animals could be vampires.
Oh yeah, I already turned a big mastiff into a vampire dog for Ellis.
Right. It's a 50-50 chance
Very
Farm
important.
puts it down.
That's really weird.
I forgot about a vampire business.
Anyway, so on to more important matters.
Mhm.
Trial. What are we doing for that?
Good question.
Because I feel like at the
Birdman
moment,
has been back and forth.
what do you mean by back and forth?
I don't know. Just the strategy was a little bit unclear to me. As far as I know, I'm trying to be cordial with the other houses. I'm trying to make it clear that the 12th house is here to help assist the city. That's my strategy. I do believe that there's something going on with Alucard, who I believe has been resurrected. So something along those lines. I don't know. I've been busy.
And where's Birdman at the moment? Because he's sort of crucial in this whole thing, because he knows the law.
I don't know.
Is this post
Um,
or pre-destruction of my?
Yeah, this is
This
pre.
free.
This is
Bounding.
pre-destruction.
This is before you find me running around in the city. This is before
Yeah.
you give me regeneration. This is before you make me Wolverine.
Yeah. This is like this even before you went to the temple, for the Macinefix people. So, the butthole worshippers.
Can I
so,
call him? Can I call Birdman?
How do you call Bird?
I'll do
Birdman's-
ascending.
Oh,
I
I
don't
was
even
like,
know where the hell I'm at. I think I'm at the apartment.
You're probably at her apartment.
I'm at your apartment watching a stiff get put on ice.
Uh,
I think like
Oh,
Mel's
that-
gonna send.
No, this is
Birdman.
after. This is probably like watching him be escorted out of her apartment.
what's
Uh,
a stiff on ice?
yeah, stiff on ice. You know, like a dead body. Like when you put a dead body on ice. Like
Oh.
the first scene in Cyberpunk 2077 where you bust into the room and there's like
I
that
feel like you're,
lady
like,
in the
injecting a penis
bathtub.
with, like meth.
No, I mean, it could be a myth.
I mean, I am.
all
I'm
right.
in your apartment
Okay.
watching a stiff get put on ice.
Bedwin and Brandon both get an inspiration
Yes.
point.
No, not for that. Jesus.
Yes.
Yes, for
It's
that.
even worse than watching it happen.
Yes.
Is that like a is it like an easier way or like a safer way to take drugs? I was like,
No.
what the fuck?
There is some
No.
safe way to take rocks.
That's funny.
That's funny. Oh no. Yeah,
Okay.
this is pre pre Wolverine Birdman. Cool. So I'm
Are you
in your
still leaning more
apartment.
on Deadpool?
Yeah, Mel does sending to Birdman. Hey, I'm with Setch right now. We're at the coffee shop. Could you come here, or can we
What?
go there? Where are you?
I'm at your apartment. Aren't we supposed to be at your apartment right now? You're supposed to be doing this right now. Alucard's here.
I wanted coffee. So I went and got
We
some
have-
coffee,
we have
and then
coffee
Setch
here.
showed up.
We have
Only
coffee at home.
beans.
Amu, yeah,
I
Amu made
relocated
coffee.
all of my with what utensils? I
With
moved
beans.
everything to the
I'm
camp.
No, we've homed out your apartment, man.
This is at least 3 sending spells right now. Just saying.
Yes, we lost track of the verbiage.
You get
Got the
25
roll.
words. That's it. You just said 3
Amu
spells.
made coffee at home.
Coffee, quote unquote.
Like, whose litter box did I just shit in? I don't have a cat. I don't have any coffee. I don't have any coffee utensils there.
Oh, but you were there watching us make coffee or eat beans. I guess.
I watched you eat beans.
Yeah.
Beans.
You watched Amu eat beans.
Mel's gonna look at Setch, and they're at my apartment again. I don't know what I was expecting besides that.
I guess I say yes.
Shall
right? 'Cause
we?
Once Alucard leaves, I
Yeah, let's
leave.
go.
And then I will meet them halfway in the middle of the street, where we will have a very awkward retcon of Setch making me drink the spinal fluid. It's in front of Mel.
Apparently.
And I'll take Matt and we'll go.
Well, Mel has a carriage that we can take. It's a little bit more private.
While we're in the carriage. So, I was doing some investigations. And remember that time where the Taras kind of went a little bit insane? Just like a couple of days ago.
Which one?
The
You mean
one
like
where he
whenever I took the bind, or?
No, the time when the acid from it was just fucking spurting out.
Oh,
and the spinal fluid was being like thrown everywhere.
I wasn't there for that, but I did hear about it.
Yeah, I did as well. And
Roll
I
a
heard...
deception check, please.
La la la.
Yeah,
la.
yes, please.
No.
I mean, I'm not lying. I heard about it.
Yeah. Still roll a deception check, please.
That's a
Oh,
terrible
no.
deception check for me.
A terrible one for you?
Please
That's still above
Please.
average.
do not fail me fucking insight, please.
That's right, dude. I failed every insight last session, man. My like,
God damn it!
me, bro.
Okay.
I rolled a 2!
Everything checks out here, sir.
Trust your
I've
friend.
made sure to put everything in my charisma.
So you weren't there?
No, I wasn't there,
You don't-
but I did hear about it.
You don't know what happened? Damn.
Um,
I heard something about the ballistas.
By this point, all Mel would know is that one of them is reported to be broken, and they've sent out for asking for dwarven smiths from the north to come in and repair them because they were the original crafters of it.
Yeah.
That's the gist of what Mel would know.
this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, apparently there was like, I don't know what's happened. Something broke, I guess. I'm not sure if they're still operable. I think at least one of them is um, having some mechanical issues. I think they're bringing in some dwarves to fix it.
Flash forward 12 hours later, 10 of them are destroyed.
Yeah.
I just destroy 4 more.
12 of 12 are broken. That's
Yeah,
great.
look, I don't really understand those blisters too much. I'm not really like a mechanical person or like an engineer or anything.
Yeah, I was hoping to try and learn a little bit more about it. I think we should have some artisans, or at least some people here who know how to do basic repairs, since they are so crucial.
That would be a good idea. Such in his mind thinks, fuck!
Mel, you've lived here for a while. These ballista have never been needed to be repaired. Like this is a weird
Yeah.
thing. They've always existed. Like as long as the Jurassic has been here, they've been here, and that's over 200 years. So
Yeah.
I think Mel, from the other perspective of the city, the original dwarves that crafted those things may not even be alive. They may be like descendants and people that like might have blueprints or whatever, right? But it's not the
Yeah.
same thing.
And if we can't procure any information about them, we should at least come up with something else. Some type of catapult
have I-
shouldn't be too hard to construct.
Have I already destroyed Mel's ballista?
I gotta look at the map.
I mean, the odds are 1 in 13, and you've already gotten 10. Pretty good odds.
Yes, actually.
Oh, thank God.
Actually, Mel's was one of the first ones you destroyed.
Thank God.
So rude.
It's yours. The one that's getting repaired is yours. Yeah, dude, they gotta
I
fix
mean-
my ballista. I don't know what's going on.
Thank God. I don't want to have to deal with $1 million up there.
That's funny.
But yeah, I was thinking of hiring someone, or maybe getting a caster up there, just so we have, I don't know, something.
There's
defend
usually some
ballistas?
guards up there, but Mel would know that each house like employs, like it's kind of like they're like a small barracks or like outposts them in and of themselves.
Mhm.
They're like a little small like fort. Like there's enough room for a couple of people to like sleep there every night and things like that.
Right.
So what so it's kind of like there's no evidence of anyone being there or anyone seeing anyone or anything like that, I guess.
I mean, look, I'd be more than
Okay.
happy to do it, but I think my utilities would be better suited elsewhere.
Yeah, that's another question. Do you still want to be part of my house?
Of course, of course, someone wouldn't
Okay.
be out.
That's good. For some reason, I got it in my head that you're going, I don't know, to steal another Binder Lord's seal or something.
No, not really steal. I just really want to kill Pierre. But that's about it.
Oops.
Right. Well, that's understandable. Would you want to be a Binder Lord at all?
Ooh, this might require a check, Sash.
Deception. Roll
Ooh.
deception.
Look, I don't really have aspirations of being a binder lord. That's not really my thing.
It's not a lie.
Carry
I
on.
don't want to be a binder lord. I don't agree with the binder lord. That's not a lie. It's true.
But you do want to be influential in the city.
Not in the public sense. I do have a lot of underground
Okay.
connections, and I know how to like make my way there. Finding connections in
Yeah,
the underground.
absolutely.
Not really keen on leading the city, really, or being a leader.
That's fair enough. Sorry, it's a lot of questions. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, that we're trying to do the same things. You know?
100%. And when
Yeah.
and like I was saying before with the Tarask, I found
Mhm.
out through the underground grapevine that some of your people actually have a majority stake in the spinal fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been investigating the effects and the uses of it, and I think we can make a lot of money off of the spinal fluid.
I mean, progression is its own thing. Money is not an issue right now. I've made a few alliances of late. So we have sponsors. If we need money or resources, it's taken care of. But as far as, developing any new technology or magic or anything to do with the spinal fluid, that's definitely something that I believe we should go for. What do you need? Like, what direction are you planning on going in?
Let me just think. Well, there's multiple you can use the spinal fluid, right?
Whoa.
Mhm.
What I
I think the carriage would be picking up Birdman by this point, more than likely.
Me,
Yeah, I think we'd be like right there. Oh, look,
shit.
here's Birdman. We can
Me-
all talk about it together.
me grinning down the
Birdman.
Okay.
street. What's up? Wait, you just
Mel just
approached me
opens up the door.
in your carriage? How creepy is your carriage, man?
It
You know the
looks
one
like
from
you're.
Bloodborne?
Does it just roll up
It
on
looks-
me? Like,
It looks like a
Like
vampire's carriage with
some old logs.
4 guards around the outside.
you roll up and that little, what is it, that vampire piano sting plays? Got it.
Around the outside.
Mel just opens the door. Birdman,
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
come here.
Okay. I come there. I'm like, what's up? I didn't know you had a carriage. What?
Well, it's best to be discreet.
It's creepy in here. Da-da-dam!
It's not that creepy. I tried to make it homey on the inside a little bit. What do you mean it smells weird? I have
smells
incense. What do you mean it always smells
Yo,
weird?
what's up? Are
Are you saying that I don't produce scent? I'm undead.
You're dead. It's got dead in the word, right?
No, but I don't produce any scent. I'm like suspended. Smell me.
Is it me? You're like, who like smells himself? Oh, nope, it's me. Sorry about that.
Smelling? What?
The Bloodman smells.
I don't smell weird, do I, Satch? Do I smell dead?
I mean,
Your clothes have been covered in blood a few times.
She washes them with prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Does prestidigitation give her the smell?
It's not like a super powered tide thing, so
I mean, your breath smells a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
Well, I
smell like
did.
a corpse.
As a treat.
I did bite a few people this morning. It's just, people who are in my army, some of them do want to be vampires. Honestly, it's getting a little bit too much. I'm constantly overfull. Anyway,
Dude, Alucard's alive, man. He was walking out of there like a champ.
Walking out.
Yeah, I thought he was dead, but like the Sith Lords took
Do we
him.
need to go get him? Where is he going?
No, we don't need to take him. I think like Farwin said something about the truce with Mel will hold up or something. I wasn't really paying attention.
That's good.
I was more interested in the dead guy standing up for the first time in 3 weeks.
I was concerned about my truce with Farwin. He didn't seem too taken at first. Setch was just telling me about some developments he wanted to make with what was it? The Tarask
The Taras spinal
bones?
fluid.
Spinal
Oh,
fluid, yes.
Oh, you mean this spinal fluid right here? And that
And
Rough
then,
rewrite.
and then that
the
scene
story
plays out.
is rerouted.
You chose
That-
to do a flashback retcon set. It's not.
That's right. I'm good at this
You
shit.
gotta live with the fact if something happens that drastically changes what's been written down.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh,
okay.
shit.
Nothing's gonna
Uh,
change.
okay.
I like my unless I'm deleting my regeneration ability and trying again.
No. Okay, so
I'm gonna do the one thing that Mel told me not to do and drink it.
In front of her.
Yeah.
No,
In front of
do
her.
please. Please.
They're both gonna drink it in front of you.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
we-
You weren't here last session. We're retconning the fact that me and Setch bonded over drinking some spinal fluid, and now we're gonna do
Yep.
it in front of you because you inserted yourself here.
Mel
Okay.
just freezes and looks so concerned.
Yeah, you should be, because what happens is not good.
No. Birdman
Jenny is concerned.
like he is very sick. Birdman is.
Oh,
Huge.
that was awful. Why did
Which
you
one?
convince me to do
Yeah,
that
how
again?
that interact with the Macinefex then? Because then Birdman will then have already drank the spinal fluid. He would have been speaking with Macinefex.
No, that was
Huh.
after, or that was before. I did that.
Yeah,
before
you
I
spoke with
came
Macinefex
here.
before you
that
drank
was
it.
before.
Oh, I
Yeah.
told him that I drank it, and then
Yeah.
the next time I
So
talk
you
to
would have,
Macinefex
like,
is gonna be really interesting.
You're gonna be
So
mutated.
you'd be mutated and you'd have less of it in your vial. I'll still say there's some in the vial. So it would be more like you have more proof you're a
I have more proof that
Wait,
I'm a
did-
madman. Great.
Did both of them drink it in front of Mel?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
and Setch does nothing happens to him. Yeah, roll an insight check, man.
Yeah. You see, I let the effects come through. I'm pretty sure my
But he
skin
doesn't.
turns,
We do
like,
it.
really
Don't we do
hard.
it twice? I think
No,
we
we
drink
do
the
it
rest
once.
of it.
No. I'm pretty sure we
Double shots.
pretty sure it left. I don't think we drank the whole thing. But yeah,
Why is
Setch-
this happening?
Setch
Why?
would let the effects go, like, come through his changeling thing.
Setch?
Ugh.
Why?
basically
I
the
thought you
first
said you
time-
wanted to make developments with the
Well, you-
spinal fluid,
I was gonna
not
say, you don't
drink
throw up.
it.
This is the development.
It's time.
This is
What
I'm
do you
saying.
mean? This is not development. This is
Yeah, that was awful, dude.
insanity.
How do you
That was
think
a
people
terrible
pronounce
development.
appointments?
This is what I've been investigating.
You've been doing this?
Enhancement.
Why?
Well,
Enhancements?
This is the first time that I'm drinking it.
Like, what kind of enhancement? Like, are they good?
Like, are you trying
It's-
to make like
Well-
super
Well,
powered
this is
people?
well, look. This is sort of the first time I've ever drank it. Like, actually, like chugged it down before, like hit it back before.
What? What are you talking about?
Wait.
But
Yeah, dude, it's fine.
Flashback.
Oh,
Flashback
maybe it's
real
because
quickly.
the first
No.
time you.
Real quickly, flashback to what you guys don't know of him, like waking up in a pile of it.
Right.
Had liquefied his clothing off of him.
Being reborn from it, yeah.
I mean, I didn't drink. I didn't throw it back. I didn't take a shot of it or anything. So I'm not lying.
You're not lying, but like I love.
Well, I did, and I'm thinking the only reason I believe this is your first time drinking it is because the first time I didn't throw up. Like,
I love it. I love it. Mel, I think with that, what was that insight for?
You want me? I was just seeing if anything was happening to either.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Bad shit. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I gained like scales.
I think we
Yeah.
both gained like scales. I have
Scales?
scales on my hands. Yeah, I got
You
a couple
gain
scales on my hands.
scales and Setch. Setch has like There's something either weird about your eyes or your nose. You can decide which one. And then Birdman, literally, his skin doesn't look normal. Like there's scales, but there's something else about the color and
It would be my eyes.
yeah. Okay. Setch,
You don't want a
like
funky
look
nose?
like his eyes look like they're starting to split a little bit, like down between the
Like the
pupils.
iris?
Yeah,
I
like
got
not all
cat
the way.
eyes. Fuck yeah.
I was just thinking
Sort
of
of.
like little scab plates on like all up
Yeah,
my
Like
arm.
scab
Naruto.
blades. But there's also like a color, like a sheen about your skin.
Can I
That's
roll a
different.
sanity?
If you would like to, sure, you can always,
I rolled sand.
Francis has rolled sanity many times for his own. You
Okay.
beat the check.
Bad.
Wow.
The
Uh,
DC is 3.
the DC is 3, so yeah.
Yeah,
um, Mel, your house was one of the houses because of your recent patrols and stuff that when this acid reflux that happened because of such that you don't know yet, is
Mhm.
uh they gathered quite a bit of it. They were able to be one of the first people there.
Yeah.
So I think part of that sanity save would also be an insight would be like what you could use this for.
Mm-hmm.
Like if this is just like what one
Powering
drink
up my
does.
soldiers.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Powering
you
up myself.
they you didn't, we're not going to go back to all the rolls that were made, but there was a chance for them for this to be bad, not good. Um, especially for Birdman who got sick from
They
Yeah.
don't know
I'll
that.
experiment on prisoners first.
They don't know that.
it.
All I know is I got some cool ass ability now. My body feels
See, so
great.
this is what I've been. This is what I want to look into, and this is why I need the
I
spinal fluid to further the research.
Wait, you
did
got more of
you
this shit?
control what just happened? I have a
No,
lot.
You have a lot?
So you didn't choose. I have a bit. You didn't choose what just happened. It was random.
I mean we both have scales, but my eyes are different.
No, I feel
Mm.
great.
Yeah, I feel amazing.
Yeah, I feel awesome. I feel like I could like
We
regenerate a bunch of my
should.
HP if I really wanted to. You know?
I don't know what HP is, but I'm going to
no,
back
don't worry
away
about
from that
Breaking of
discussion.
four walls.
it. Yeah.
Deadpool
Birdman
again.
turns his head to the
Um,
audience.
Yeah,
Go
Birdman.
Jim looks
I
at the
Yeah.
Jim looks at the camera.
let's not drink anymore. Um,
All right.
Yeah,
before
down for that.
this is why I want to experiment on it more.
yes,
You
I
can turn it
believe
into
we should
alcohol.
at least do not say these things to me. We
There
should.
is, you all know, there is a form of alcohol that is made from this that is distilled. You guys are drinking a pure form. That's why this is doing things.
Does Mel get drunk?
Why not? I
She's
imagine
a
it takes
vampire.
more to get you drunk.
I don't
It's
think
not,
she's tried. I think she's had like a couple drinks and then been like, okay, guess it's not doing anything. Whoop de doo.
I imagine you would have to drink like a whole keg, probably, to feel drunk.
Hmm.
Because then most of your blood will be replaced by alcohol by that point.
Yeah.
Because like
Um.
I've always thought if a vampire's eating blood, they still process it through their stomach, so to go into
You
their
think?
bloodstream.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's how food works.
Anyway,
That's how food works.
Do you think that
shut
a
the
vampire
fuck
that,
up.
do you think that a vampire who drinks a drunk person gets drunk?
Ooh,
In
that's a good
one
question.
in one thing I saw
Yeah.
that happen. I can't remember what movie. I saw that happening with that vampire.
Well, I
doing-
do imagine that Mel, like, if she drinks the blood of someone, like, with venom, like a snake person or something like that, I do imagine she would get drunk from that.
Well, like,
But snake venom isn't in the bloodstream though.
but alcohol is though. So if you drink it, you know, maybe you're getting a little tipsy off of what they got tipsy on.
Does Mel sometimes put venom in her cups of like
Do
of her blood to
you
turn it into like
purposely
jello?
poison?
Yeah, probably.
Does it to like try and clot it and to turn it into jello?
No,
like
not
turn-
to turn it
okay.
into jello.
Blood jello.
Um, no, she doesn't want blood jello shots.
It's so gross.
She'd probably do it to try and make alcohol,
Be all
like
white.
an alcohol that would work for her.
And anyway, so what I'm wanting
Yeah,
is
anyway.
to have access to this spinal fluid to do experiments.
Like turn it into alcohol.
No.
No, turn it
Such-
into a safer potion.
Can I
That's
do an
not
insight check to see if there's any other motivations for him?
I mean, that 29. What is that? We didn't resolve that out
Yeah,
loud.
would that 29 help me at all?
Roll check, Setch.
A roll.
Deception? Persuasion.
All right. Well, I'm gonna use
Persuasion,
an inspiration
deception.
to make Mel re-roll that 29.
There you go.
And
You bitch!
Let's go.
Can I use an inspiration to say no?
You can use an inspiration to give yourself advantage.
You can roll it again.
Roll again at advantage, apparently.
Roll it again.
Please. Roll 20, please.
And then I'm gonna use another inspiration to give myself advantage.
Ooh.
And then I will use a sorcery point since I failed to re-roll it.
No! You butt!
Cool.
You bitch.
Alright.
What can I do with fury points? Can I do anything with
Everybody
that?
else is rolling, so I want to roll too. I'm just gonna stand here. I'd be like, nice. I'm good.
Well, as far as Mel can tell, Setch is just being another power-hungry mage in the city of Salt. That's all you can tell.
Mhm.
For the benefit of your house, Mel.
For the benefit of your house, like,
Yeah.
Setch is probably the most powerful caster that you have personally connected to you. Like,
Yeah.
Just give me the spinal fluid.
I don't like the way that you're saying that.
yeah, you know, your insight was definitely high enough to tell that. There's an eagerness in his tone, to be sure.
Setch, are you okay?
I'm completely fine.
You look
I've
Setch
never-
up and down. He looks a lot different. You know.
I feel like a lot has happened. Would you mind holding off on the research until after the trial?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Then we can work on it together. I want to be able to devote full attention to it, and I don't believe I can during the trial.
Well, that was the great thing is you wouldn't need to devote any attention to it because I would just be doing it.
But I want to be involved in the workings of my house. I don't want to be like one of these other binder lords that's detached and unaware of what's actually going on. I want to be involved in the research and actually understand exactly what we're doing. That way, if decisions need to be made, I'm there to make them.
That sounds like a logical conclusion to come to. In my head, I'm just like, fuck! You fuck you! But we'll table the experiments.
Okay.
Roll for
That's-
deception.
That's good.
Setch does it in his own time.
I'm gonna find a way to fucking drink that shit. Don't you, don't you worry about it. I'm gonna fucking go behind your back and do it.
Mel is gonna send a letter to one of her guard captains to lock that shit up, hide it away, 24-hour posting.
That is fine. I've got powers to destroy ballista. You think a locked door's gonna stop me?
He does speak
I will
truth.
know if my guards are injured.
He didn't. He didn't injure a single guard with any of those
I didn't injure
ballista.
a single person.
They will
Injure and
have
kill are
eyes
two
on it
different
the
words.
entire time.
That's perfectly fine.
We
I've got
will.
illusion
That sounds like a fun little dungeon.
I have illusion magic.
Okay. Well, where does the carriage stop?
Probably
Near
in
Mel's
the
apartment.
Are we not going
Wait,
to the?
weren't you at Mel's apartment and you're leaving Mel's apartment?
We were. Aren't we on
Because
our way to
you
the?
got
met halfway-
Birdman from Mel's apartments, unless
No, we met
fully done
halfway
with.
there. Birdman, like, whatever. Where
Also,
are we
you're going
going,
back to
Birdman?
Mel's apartment after the
We're-
whole Alka thing is done. Okay.
I don't know where Birdman wants us to go.
I
Yeah,
think
so
afterwards
we-
we go to the court. Is where we go after the
Okay,
scene.
we can
So-
go to the
Because-
courts. That's perfectly fine.
Because what happens after this little conversation is much more important than what's actually going on. If we're
Okay.
retconning everything and we're just going off of what happened last time, I think right after mine and Setch's conversation, Amu unleashes an earthquake onto the stage courts.
Yeah.
So
If Mel is here, I wouldn't teleport away there. She's too smart. I would wait till after the fact and then destroy the ballista.
Okay.
Damn right. See, your cat agrees with my schemes. He's a part of it.
Huh?
There
No, she's
was
not.
there was some other time and opportunity where I don't know if Falwyn and Mel still want to.
The plot has done this.
Pick up Fawin on the way to
Oh,
the
well-
courts.
Well, Falwyn was already there by
Oh,
the
no.
time.
Yeah.
Because I'd be in my tower, I'd be walking destruction, and I'm doing my thing. Because Farween is doing his Farween things.
Okay, well then we'll have it line up with the next thing then. See if you guys want to take opportunity with that.
Well, Mel can like split from Setch and Birdman and go get Farwin.
Well, with
Whatever.
where
Whatever's
this
easiest.
scene with the spinal fluid happened, it essentially happened much earlier on in time than where it was last time.
Because that would also impact the consecutive plane of what Setch knows or saw and what Farwyn saw of Setch. You know what I mean? It gets weird.
I mean, I could be in the
Unless you can
carriage and
say
we just
that
kinda,
happened.
like,
No,
It's
that
easiest.
could
I haven't been
happen
here
way
for
later.
months.
My brain is thinking. My brain was thinking and is thinking that this is something that happened way earlier. And then they go and drop Birdman off to go to the Mesenifex people. And then Setch parts ways with Mel, and that Setch goes and does a little bit of contact with connections, but then makes his way to that same coffee shop. And then so like Falwyn and Tenebris at this time, it's not a. I think I was incorrect in speaking that Oatom exactly happened at that point. So it's mostly like the time you were trying to figure out where he was with some of that scrying and some of the other movements beforehand. were involved, I think, a little bit of that, but also probably some of that more background things that we've been talking about. Probably some of the stuff you were doing in the process of that. So, uh, but like as I said at the beginning of the session, like this is like that 18-hour period between when chaos erupts. So you guys kind of go your separate ways later on, earlier in the night, and then Mel gives an order to her uh, carriage master or whatnot, and they make their way to where Falwyn is. So this is like when Falwyn's probably.
Wait, so they're going to the tower?
Yeah. So this is
Uh,
like when you're like crafting something, or something. Was probably when this would be something that's
mm,
more happening in the background.
Probably a conversation with him and Dallas, and the concept of, uh, I, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what would cause a sudden interruption.
I can think
Um,
of something that would cause an interruption.
yeah,
Yeah,
the kitty mewing. Um,
I'm actually actively scheming with your cat right now.
I wouldn't put it past
so,
her.
um,
maybe training session.
yeah, sure.
Hmm. What training? Uh, Maybe it's kind of, since Halloween was trying to find a bunch of people, we can interweave the whole elemental thing, or at least the attempts of doing that, before a sudden notification by Bora that someone has once again arrived at the 11th House Tower entranceway.
Okay, I like it.
Hmm.
Alrighty. Dun, dun. It's been a while since I've been here. On this map, that is. Nevertheless. Go.
Like to imagine Barwin is drawing chalk lines on the floor that make pentagram symbols, uh, talking to us about the intricacies of summoning and the utilities of it. This particular creature that we attempt to summon, there are some creatures that make themselves very, very difficult to find, my boy. But you have a gift to reach out to other beings from across the planes who can aid in our endeavors. Mastery of your magic means you can heed others to obey your own authority. The alchemical symbols are almost complete. I can sense you're not paying attention, Delis. Probably still going crazy on the broom. I don't know.
There is a weird, like, I don't even think it's like Bora. It's probably just like a noise from the tower since you've gained more control over it. And you go to a wall and it like puddle filters, and you see Mel is at the gate out of her carriage, like standing in front of it, like looking up at the gate. I imagine like stating, I'm here to see you, such and such, and you like hear it through this like echoey.
Oh, please. I have people for that.
Okay, so you have Marshwalker,
I'm announced.
this frog man come. He's like, I'm here to announce the Lady of the 12th House. She has come out of business for Lord of the 11th.
Those will resume this.
We're just still in the carriage? Like, what?
Amros.
Just
Amros.
sitting on top.
Birdman and Setch have gone their separate ways by this point.
Oh, shit.
Setch has gone to sleep.
Yeah, Birdman is on his way to the Macinefix house by this
You-
point.
Setch is
Oh,
in the
cool.
carriage.
Wapski.
Yeah, no. Setch went off to destroy 4 more ballista, and then now he's sleeping.
He needs a little napsky wapski after causing problems for the city.
Exactly. And now I need to regain all my spell slots, so I can do it again.
Yeah,
Like Widowy?
like what do we?
Open up!
Bora, if 2 more sentences come from that creature, you have my permission to end it. Tell him I will arrive shortly.
Do it again.
Bora goes through a portal to like stand right next to Marshwalker, and Marshwalker's just like his eyes go wide, kind of surprised. The horses neigh, and Bora is just like, "He is coming shortly. Your patience is appreciated." And then the little wall dissipates, and then you go to the stairs/platform and gather your things.
Gather my
Take
things, and I call for Amros and Amrad to be at my side, since Lord Venator is doing things.
Mel's gonna turn into mist so that she can dramatically appear behind him whenever he gets here.
The winds would meet you down kind of on like the atrium greeting platform that's outside right before you get to the gate. Um, make your way down there, and they obviously have been training, going through different kata and magical kind of things like that. And they are not in their full regalia. Um, but nevertheless, they follow with weapons on their hips to the front gate, and Mel is greeted eventually with Fawin, but also 2 other elves, as best as you can tell, that you've never seen before. Um, they have piercing like cinder blue eyes, like obviously magical, like white long draping hair, obviously much younger than Fawin, just by their body and build and texture about their face and skin. Um, they could be his children with how much they look alike, but which is kind of, I guess, a little concerning to Mel that they're. Mel is old enough to understand what elves have done to this world over the years, I think, in some ways, and to have more elves involved usually means that another kingdom is at play, involved in things from other planes and things like that. I don't know. They look like they're from another plane. There's something weird about them. You can't quite place it. Um, and the gate slowly opens magically, and Bora kind of walks behind you with Marshwalker and whoever else you want to bring as guards with you to the bottom steps. Only like 4 or 5 steps, but high enough to where Fawin is easily 3 or 4 feet above you, above your head level, as you come up to the point. And Marshwalker yet again introduces Mel.
Seth,
then-
it's Saltwalker, not
Well,
Marshwalker. Jeez.
nevertheless,
Jeez.
he's a frog.
Yeah.
Well, one of those is a bad skin day. Just saying.
Mel wants to appear next to one of the other elves that you were describing. Like, come out of mist form and be like, these are interesting children that you have with you, Fawin.
They jump, draw swords. One of them does, the other pulls back. There's like, It's not necessarily magic you sense about one of them. There's something else that they're like. There's a presence in your mind almost that's like really powerful. Mel,
Hmm.
with that, and
Mel's just
they
gonna
are
put a
waiting
hand on their
for
neck, almost
they.
feeling up their jugular.
Farwan immediately ignites his sunblade. That is unwise, Lady Abaddanta.
Oh, do not worry. Relax.
Then
I'm not
remove
going
your
to attack
hand.
you.
But my
I was just
action
trying
may
to see if
change.
they were. I was just trying to see if they were as cold as they appeared.
Your concern is unwarranted. I give you 3 seconds before you lose the hand.
Oh goodness, I'd just grow it back either way, but I'll save the trouble. How are you, Fawan?
Farwan's still having his sunblade ignited. I will say, unlike probably many sunblades you have seen, this is a weapon that shifted from its original golden starlight to a reddish orange tinge. But nonetheless,
Seems your sunblade has fallen evil. How
that's an
unfortunate.
interesting point of view to hold. It is a weapon that will not rust, dull, or shatter.
Oh yes, good for you. You know what else is a weapon that will not dull, rust, or shatter? Your mind. That is more important. Don't brazen your weapon so cockily.
Do not impose yourself on my territory, as though you
Imposing myself.
you are
I'm just trying
freely
to see
moving
if he
around,
was warm.
and such disrespect to my presence and to my god.
Oh,
For
my
example,
apologies, Lord of the 11th. And she does a very fancy curtsy.
Saltwalker chuckles.
you arrive uninvited and unaccounted for once again.
My apologies. Should I be expecting a formal invitation next time, or do you want me to just have someone come over to ask, oh, can the Lord of the 10th, or the 12th, pretty please, come over for a hangout? What would you like, Fowen?
What I like and what you will do may be two different things. That is clear from your intonations.
I do apologize. It has been a strange few days.
Then let us dispense with the pleasantries. Why are you here, and what do you want?
It's less of what I want and more of what I wish to discuss. How are we doing as far as Alucard? I heard several things.
He is recovering quite well, I will say.
Has he spoken at all?
Yes, he has spoken several sentences to Birdman, Killian, and Amu, as well as myself and Master Tenebris.
What did he speak of? What did they do to him?
Who is they?
After he disappeared? Clearly, there was something that happened that caused him to die. Or nearly die. What did happen? What state was he in?
Comatose. Mostly dead, as some colloquially would say. But I believe Master Birdman would have informed you of these things.
Yes, well, I believed the same, but Birdman and my second seemed to have more interest in drinking innocuous liquids.
Yes, indulging themselves, and so hard to be so forthcoming. I'm not surprised with Birdman, as he is, much like his namesake, very, very flighty when it comes to his loyalties.
Yes.
But I should be concerned for your second. After all, the relationship I have with my second, Master Tenebris, is one of closeness and kinship. His actions should be known to you.
Yes, I have a similar viewpoint, but it appears it is not shared. And will have to be something to repair later.
Repair.
However, most of why I'm here is to see what we can do as far as helping each other. I want to make sure that this alliance is strong.
Followed. I was gonna say. What's the opposite of reignite? He turns off the
Extinguish?
sunblade. Turns off the sunblade. When we were on that
Extinguishes
derelict
it.
rooftop, you have asked for a truce between us. If we are to work closely from now on, it would be best to understand your ambitions.
As far the city? What do you mean, my ambitions?
Baldwin looks at the carriage. He looks towards his tower. Would you like to join me for a meal?
If you would have me. I do not want to impose for longer than you wish.
Wisdom is often lost inviting a vampire to your own domain, but know this stay is only temporary. But I would be honored if you would join. Amros,
Thank you.
Amrad, keep yourselves well associated with her.
Saltwalker, please go back to the camp. Take the carriage. Be sure that things are running smoothly and set up some type of defense for the spinal fluid. I have a feeling it may become a bargaining chip later.
He nods, takes an extra second to look at the two extra elves, and then hops away onto the carriage, gives orders to the driver, and they start to back out of the gate.
Two of the guards that were with the carriage will stay with the carriage, and two of them will stay with Mel.
And I want to say, as we're entering into the tower, just to find a dining table, just to have a simple meal, Barwin is establishing a contact. No, sorry, not contact. Telepathic bonds with himself and Mel. Doesn't necessarily need to do it with Amros and Amrad since they can already communicate telepathically anyway. But I guess just in case, I'll do it with them as well, ritually. Many leaders in this
Afraid
city
someone's
believe
listening.
someone is always listening. In fact, I sense a plot to destroy the Binder Lords. The arcane
I fear
shift.
the same.
I see visions. I see precognitions. The fate of this city is uncertain.
Visions. What have you seen?
Let us start with the concept of the Tarask. A curious thing, is it not? A monstrosity, a creation of the primordials themselves, bound and clasped onto the very earth that it freely rocks and ruinates. Can you imagine a thought experiment, Lady Abaddanta, being a binder law without the effect of a word of power that effectively ensures your position in the city? Can you imagine that?
Wouldn't be much of a binder lord if you don't have a bind.
But you would still be a lord of a city. You just don't have the means of a weapon of mass destruction to leverage against the people or your enemies. So, you must resort to alternative means of ensuring your authority is not undermined. You understand this, yes?
I do understand.
I believe there are movements that are trying to accomplish this, whether the Tarask is destroyed or whether it is awoken. But know that
Awoken. Who? Who do you think is doing this?
I do not have any concrete evidence, but I can suspect that there will be some who might have a vested interest in making sure the Tarask is no longer a concern. Given
I
that it's
see.
been writhing, and given that the binds have been sabotaged, one means to defend the Tarask from its arousal. That's not the right word.
Did somebody
Awakening?
call?
Well, it's
Awakening,
correct
yes.
word.
That's not the right
Ah,
word.
it's a correct word.
It's the correct word, but like
The
the context can be taken.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well,
Listen,
you know,
connotation
what's-
and denotation are different.
I'm certainly aroused now.
Oh, what's happening? Uh,
I do believe that your worries are they do have merit. As far as the discussion goes with my second earlier today, something is going on with the ballistas. I don't know who, but we need to find a way to stop them from being destroyed. I don't think it's going to end without intervention.
Indeed, that is one possible destiny the city can take, where we maintain the status quo. But often trying to chase and fight destiny inadvertently puts you on the path towards it.
I agree, which is why we need to come up with something else. We need better defenses. We cannot just rely on pieces of machinery that were built by someone outside of the city hundreds of years ago. We need something more modern, something better.
Are you still looking for this technology to destroy or contain the beast? I believe, Mel, that you are perhaps one of the best binder lords who can weather the storm of a beast either being destroyed or awoken.
I
Search your
would
feelings,
like to
Mel.
believe that.
We speak in the mind so I can have an honest dialogue. I have lived for centuries. I have seen
As
many
have I.
leaders, not only in this city-states, but in other civilizations who sought to consolidate their power, amass wealth, skirt authority, but only as their ends. Such blatant disunity, free reign of minds, tends to be a civilization's undoing. When you sought the favor of the Binder Lords by taking the word of power, it would have been easier to say that you support the city's what is the proper term? Enlightenment.
Ideologies.
The ideology that the city can be better than it is now. But rather than simply improve upon the leaders that currently exist, you sought that you were the best person to take up the task yourself. Because you have ambition. Because you have ideas.
Well, yes, I'm not just going to maintain the status quo. I mean, look at the people of this city. Most of them are living in gutters.
Indeed. And how do you propose to change that?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm going one step at a time. The more people who agree to join me, the more people I can prop up from where they are. I don't want to rule over much. I just want there to not be so much destruction. Honestly, if the Tarrasque were to disappear in a matter of moments, I would not care. However, if it were to awaken, countless people would lose their lives. Countless homes would be destroyed.
Lives that you would bring back. You could be a symbol of order and authority from the wreckage of the dead. You are the only Binder Lord unique enough to accomplish this.
I cannot bring them back once they are all the way gone. It must be while they are dying.
And you do not have the means to reach out to much of these people? That Saltwalker, as disturbing as he is, does he not possess the similar gifts as you to add more to his flock?
He can create nulls. Zombies, undead, mindless creatures. In order for someone to create spawn such as him, they must be a lord. This is something that I've done research on for quite a while. I don't know why I am able to create spawn now. I don't believe I was before. I honestly didn't even know I could create nulls until recently. But I believe whichever vampire turns me is no more.
I am blessed with the longevity, and you are cursed with immortality.
Yes.
But in your
Something
immortality,
I never wanted.
but as you amass more people to your side, you have the ideas, you have the means to establish your own authority, yet you say you do not want to rule. So I ask again, why did you seek the position of the 12th house Binder Lord?
I did not seek it. Everything happened so quickly. I did not want this. I never wanted this. All I wanted to do was live, or somewhat live, survive however I could. When presented with the opportunity to take the bind, it was split second, it was rash. I did not think. It just happened, and now I have to deal with the consequences. I never wanted the bind. I never wanted to rule, and I never wanted to have a bloody army. But that is where I am now, and I am in a position to help, or try to help, people. So that is what I am doing. Things just happen sometimes, and I'm just trying to take things one step at a time and deal with the fires as they ignite. I did not want to be a vampire. I did not want to come to the city. I did not want to rule anything, and I did not want to be a binder lord. But it's what happened. So I'm rolling with the punches, as they say.
It seems you're still acting upon instincts. Just as it was merely instinctual to take the mantle of order power. You could easily relinquish it to someone else if you don't wish to have this power.
It's not that I do not wish to have it. I did not want it, but now that I possess it, I've realized that if I were to relinquish it to someone, nearly everyone to choose from is power hungry, selfish, and cruel. And I have shown all of those qualities myself, but I am trying to change, whether it's visible or not. All of this isn't just for show. I'm not just parading around the city to try and convince people that I should be a binder lord. I just want to be secure and able to help.
I have 2 questions. Sharing, or sharing. Yes, sharing the gift of vampirism to those. Is that what you consider helping others from their current existence?
Yes, I would never force it upon someone, and I haven't. For those who seek an existence outside of illness, hunger, sickness, starvation, all of those are fucking synonyms.
But no, there are admirable traits to achieve. To
I
stave away hunger, to stave away sickness, the plights of life. That is something
exactly.
admirable to achieve.
The people that I've turned have all wanted it. They were all in a position of absolute destitute. And if they chose that they wanted to be at peace again, and I would search for means to either reverse the curse or, if they wished to pass, I would assist them.
I
I
can
do not want to
imagine.
force people to do things.
I imagine that in order to offer this gift to people, they would need to be persuaded, but no doubt leadership amongst the city would be against, even opposed to what you offer as a gift.
Yes. Many have looked at it, looked at me with disgust. I technically do not have rights in this city. Before I became a Banderlord, if people were to become upset with anything that I did, they would easily be able to murder me and no one would care.
Indeed. Hence why, despite the leaders of this city, they were once people, they were once commoners, or they were once of equal footing at some points before some events allowed them an act of providence in the aristocracy. But no matter who it is that becomes a new leader, unless they see eye to eye with you, they will always be gridlocked. You have power. You may regret taking the power, but you have it, and it is a tool that you can use to enact your ideology. In order for that to happen, you will need people that you can trust to ensure that whatever it is that you want out of this city becomes a reality. The people, they seek your gifts, your blessing. You have authority. You know what is best, because common sense is lost on the common person.
Hmm.
I do not see myself ruling this city.
In a perfect world, no one would.
But do not get me confused. There are values, there are things, not only in the city, but in this region that I see. Once I have
Such
that,
as?
I will be gone.
Such as what? What do you seek? Why are you here?
The Birdman asked me the very same thing. This city was to
And
be a thought experiment, but there was also some resources that I could acquire to provide some improvements in another region.
I see.
The experiment might be a failure, but the resources that it can offer are plentiful.
So, as soon as the city is finished, that's it? You're leaving?
Depends on the destiny of this city. If the status quo is maintained, I will have some presence. If the Tarask were to be destroyed, well, it would not be any so different than if we were awoken, would it not? Tarask would be gone. I do not imagine once a city is destroyed, the beast would want to linger. If it is
And
destroyed,
what is it you want with the Tarask? Do you want it to be destroyed?
as I said before, what I want and what may happen may be two different things.
Yes, but it still does matter what you want. If we
I
are
want
to be allied, I need to know what you are working towards.
If we are to be allied, I wanted to understand what you would want to accomplish. And I am presenting you an opportunity. My knowledge, we can ensure that you become something greater than just a single bind of war, so that you can achieve your ideology. Now that depends on what happens with the Tarask. I want you to be prepared for a scenario if the status quo is maintained, if it is destroyed, or if it is awoken. If the Tarask is, let us say hypothetically, the Tarask wakes up. It destroys people, civilizations are lost, binder lords are killed, their powers are meaningless. But you have an army. You have an undying army. You have a few selections of vampiric spawn at your disposal. You are parading across the streets as a savior figure. In the wreckage of casual catastrophe, you can be their champion, and you can make this city a better place, in your point of view. I would not be opposed, as I will not be here to oppose you. The other Binder Lords, if you could even call them that at that point, they will either be lords, or you install your own lords, or there's just one lord of a city. Does this make sense?
And what you're saying, to be honest, it makes me sick.
And that is if the Tarask were to awaken. It is a logical conclusion. If the status quo is maintained, you and myself, well, more or less, if the 12th house and 11th house will still exist, and we will continue about until some outside external force or some internal squabble removes the concept of Binder Lords altogether, and we are back to the same conflict and crises that we are experiencing now. And if the Tarask were destroyed, it depends on if it is awoken first or if it's destroyed first. It's just a matter of how many bodies be left on the floor upon that conclusion. But the same thing. The Binder Lords do not have their leverage to awaken a catastrophe. And it then goes back to whoever has the most influence.
That is the outcome I would prefer. Destroy the thing before it wakes up and harms others.
And I'm in agreement. Over the past few decades, creatures have been mutating due to consuming the blood, meat, and fat of that creature.
And spinal fluid.
Spinal
That
fluid.
is what happened. Whenever creatures consume the spinal fluid, something happens to them. Just saw it earlier today. Birdman and my second both consumed it. It changed them. They got scales and such as eyes split. And Birdman, he said something strange about regenerative abilities? I don't know.
Should I make a history
Such
check or arcana check when it comes to the abilities of the beast Seth? Or would Farwin, given his score, passively know that the Tarask has regenerative capabilities just by, them constantly cutting it and it regrowing food and flesh?
To your second question, yes, that's kind of common knowledge.
Mhm.
The first question,
Well, I guess the second question kind of pretty much answers the first question because I was trying to see, does Farwin know that the Tarask can regenerate? And
yeah,
then an educated guess would be like, well, I assume some sort of symbiosis with the, well, I don't know if
Yeah.
DNA is really a word, but pretty much with the essence of the beast could cause a forced mutation that will allow you to take on aspects of the beast.
It has happened before.
Mhm. I am not surprised by the relative outcome. I will admit there might be some surprise of survival, but I am perplexed as to why would they willingly ensue spinal.
I don't know how Setch knew that something would happen, but he knew. He said even before he consumed it that he wanted to conduct experiments. I am concerned. He seemed like himself, but the things that he was saying, it seemed like he did not want me involved with whatever experiments he wanted to conduct. And though I want to trust him, it seems like I can trust him. Something is telling me that it is not the way.
Hmm. You'll have to observe him closely.
Something has happened to him. He's not the same person I knew a few days ago.
You'll have to
I do not
divine
know
his
what has happened.
aims.
That is what I am trying. It seems like he wants to support the houses and my house. But I don't. Something is different.
And I suppose you should ask him a simple question, just as you asked me. Do I want the beast destroyed? If he doesn't give you a straightforward answer, then that means it's either he wants it to remain as it is, or he wants to awaken it. That's just what I would start with.
I'm not certain if what he says can be. I'm not certain he will be candid with me, and he is far too good at lying for me to trust if he's telling me the truth.
And just as I asked Birdman with his friends, if Setch proved to be against you, would you be able to have the will to put him down?
Put him down.
Forgive
I
me.
don't know if I could if I tried. I'm not talking about emotionally, such as powerful. But he is my friend. I can't believe that he would. I'm choosing not to believe that he would do something to hurt that many people.
The choice of belief, ignorance and apathy. Ignorance may be bliss, yes. However, Lady Mel, ignorance of the world will not save you from it.
Until he proves otherwise, I'm choosing to believe that he is not going to be that murderous. When presented with evidence to the contrary, I will believe it. But until then, I'm not going to take any actions against him. If it seems as though he is going to harm people that do not deserve its innocence, then I will do what must be done. But not before. I owe him that.
I see. Very well. I will observe this. But know that this truce is between you and me, if your second does not share a mindset to you. I apologize beforehand if there must be some drastic measures I must take to make sure that I am self-preserved.
If Setch does something that is against what he has told me as our joint ideologies, then he is not the man that I know. And I'll leave it at that.
Very well. Now, on to more mundane matters. You reside outside the city walls, but the ninth house is currently occupied what has been 12th house property. Do you wish to have it back?
Have they?
Yes. Weeks
Xantha.
ago, I have aimed to make a truce with the Birdman and Killian to investigate these things, but I was rebuked. And lo and behold, the ninth house has occupied more and more of the 12th house district.
Of course he has. That snake.
Below ground, mighty. Below ground.
Ah, below ground.
I should have known. Xantha has always overstepped, even whenever I was part of his house. He seemed, I don't want to say evil, because I believe many in the city, including myself, are something of the sort, but conniving. Yes, I do want it back.
Xantha at present would be against both of us in our claims of our houses. It's a matter of how you want to have it retrieved. You can do it through the court system, but it will be a lengthy process. I assume he will die before such things get resolved. Not that it would be an issue, we both would live long enough. But I
But
assume
his
you want
bind.
to...
We cannot have a bind just open. If we are to allow Xantha's death, we must have a plan for who will assume his control. I'm not sure if one person can hold multiple binds. I'm
I
not
would
sure
not
I would even
recommend
want
it.
that. Yes. But I don't know of someone that I would be comfortable having a bind.
Hence,
you?
back to my previous ideology speech when it comes to having someone who shares a similar mind to yourself. Either you find someone in the ninth house who can be impressionable enough to listen to you, or you install someone that you create who you know will not disobey your authority.
I suppose if necessary, I can install one of my spawn. This is quite literally impossible for them to disagree with me. Sometimes infuriating.
Then I propose after this trial is concluded, we can work towards setting our attention towards the ninth house. Presuming that, and if I recall correctly once again from our meeting, the champions you sent out to investigate the whereabouts of the Borksland dwarves do not make an unanticipated interruption.
Yes, I had put that from my mind momentarily. Do you have any information that is not common knowledge about them?
About the Borksland dwarves. And they are not
Yes.
they share many similarities to the dwarven empires of old, but centuries and centuries of isolation has changed them.
Mm.
If you ask for my honest opinion, do not grant them any quarter. As soon as they try to make any entrance to the city, kill them prop. I will not
Joy.
give any room to negotiate with the Borgsland dwarves.
Why?
Let's just say that there is some bad blood between my people and the people that they have descended from.
Understood. Though unsettling.
It is either that, or they propose a forced occupation of the city, rendering your power and mine moot. You would trade one
I do
master
not
for another.
believe. I do not believe that the perceived power of the bind is so significant.
All it takes are a few dead Binder Lords, not all 13, for that Tarask to be unleashed. Whether the Binder Lords willingly relinquish the word of power to unchain the beast, or they are dead.
It takes is one deciding that he's having a bad enough day to destroy half the city. I understand that it is a monumentous control, but I do not believe in the significance of its power over people. It's all perception.
Well, Lady
People
Mel,
believe that the Binder Lords are powerful because they say they are. Without them, without the Tarask, there would be nothing besides what people say and how many people choose to follow people.
it is all part of the social contract of a civilization. There are other cities that exist that do not have such a weapon of mass destruction, but there are still lords and serfs.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. The bind, it may prove as some validating measure to why someone should have power, but to those who are a little more insightful, it really does not mean anything, besides they were in the right place at the right time, like myself. What matters is people, how many people choose to follow each Binder Lord. That is what I am concerned of.
Remember, Lady Mel, common sense is lost on the common person. The leaders that you seek and the people that you wish to follow you all have the same culpability of evil.
Yes.
It is where a strong leader has their ideology to set the example, is where civilization can thrive, depending on how you want to shape that civilization. Angels that wait to play games fairly will lose to devils and who don't.
Good thing I am no angel.
But enough about lectures and politics. I tire.
I do as well. I'm
Well,
going to go see what my second is up to.
yes. There is an arraignment I must attend to ensure that the trial proceedings occur smoothly. 3 binder lords currently do not slay belief in my authority. I must find out who. Why. Though I can make
Well,
educated guesses on who 2 out of the 3 are.
yes. If you do need any assistance as far as manpower or undead power, just send a letter and you will have all that you need.
And you can send for me.
I'm glad we were able to have this discussion, Farwin.
Indeed. I believe this truce will go along swimmingly.
I do as well. I will take my leave. Good luck with your investigations. And Mel dissipates into mist.
And may the weave be with you, Lady Avatar.
Your guards are confused.
They're used to it. They are set. If you don't believe that they are used to it by now, those guards are just like, she did it again. Let's walk down the stairs.
Wait, she just pulls a fucking Batman to fucking Gordon shit.
Yep,
Yep.
pretty much.
Yep. She does this like 10 times a day to them.
Well, we look to Amros and Amrad. We will resume your kata training.
Ooh.
But do keep in mind, what we see here in this city pales in comparison to what is seen in our homeland. And that'll be the end of the scene, I would say.
Good RP, man. That was cool.
Yeah. Let's take a little potty break. I need some cookies as well. And
I need talkies.
The Sith Lord needs to use the bathroom.
And then we will come back to the aftermath of the earthquake. Those of you not directly involved with that, we're going to kind of jump around with you a little bit. We'll handle that, which, and then we may, in the last 20-30 minutes, start to go back to the forest people. We'll see what that makes sense. Just because the story of the city has gotten a lot more yeah, so I have some things to like kind of lay out and describe. Some of it is narrative from you guys towards the end of like the telekinesis and whatnot from Farwin and things like that. But yeah, take a little potty break. We'll come back in like 5 minutes or so. I'm gonna go myself.
Look, all I'm
Telekinesis?
saying
What the fuck?
whatever Setch accomplishes, that's probably gonna be leading towards how the story of the city will end.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look, man,
I
the
don't
moment
wanna
you said
kill
I want to go a
people.
dark urge route, I'm like, well, I want to see where this goes too, but
Oh well, the druids said they can save people, so that's fine. They can go do that.
Oh I'm totally gonna save an entire fucking city.
Yeah, of course.
Yep, that's the
Absolutely.
goal. Yep.
Alright, I gotta use the restroom.
It's not like
If Farwin had asked one different question, he would have gotten a glimpse of Mel's backstory, but no.
I mean,
No one will. Wah.
I'm not. I'm honestly. I think it's mostly because I'm just like fucking tired after this fucking long ass week. But and I absolutely did enjoy the role play, but I'm like, damn, why does Farwin have to be so fucking long winded with everything he says? Like shit.
He's a Sith.
Twang. I do love the way that Farwin speaks. I think it's very political. However, I have like trouble processing information, and I felt like my ears were unfocusing like eyes do whenever you stare at something too long.
What the fuck? Like again, and it's never any like shame or hate towards Francis's characters. It's just he just has a way of playing them that makes me go, huh. I get it.
It's very political.
It's like, well, I get it, yeah, but oftentimes I'm like, why are you repeating these things? Please stop repeating these things. Damn you, politics. Damn you to hell.
Darn you all to heck.
This is why Tenebris just kills people. He's just like, I don't have anything to say. Just like here.
I just obey orders. Farwin points at thing, goes kill, I kill. That's my job.
Tenebris is like, yo, you do all the talking. Here, take my role play. You do that.
Yeah.
My whole plan was to have Mel kill Farwin, but now that's not gonna happen.
No,
I mean, it could still happen.
I guess it could still happen.
if we go the right direction, Mel will kill him.
I like though how every single time Mel begins to have deep conversations about her motivations, I always feel justified in being like, she should have left with the camp with the forest people. She should have. She had her out.
She should have. But like I keep saying, outside this city, she'll just have a migraine indefinitely.
I mean, an indefinite migraine or having a indefinite headache.
Indefinite migraine?
Oh. At least in one instance, you don't have to worry about, any fucking Game of Thrones shit going on every second of the day.
Yeah.
Bruh, this city setting, like I feel I have to be more Palpatine than I ever wanted to be. Just...
I mean, you heavily lean into it. Like, I swear, it sometimes sounds like Farwin is just talking in circles. Like, he's just saying the same shit over and over again. Like, like, bro, why do you keep going on and on? Like, please, just get to the point, Farwin. Like, no, I must wax philosophy this entire time, and you must listen to everything I have to say. It is important to this discussion. We're talking about your favorite flavor of cheese, man.
Well, then we must discuss.
But there's psychology to the cheese.
Listen.
Each one is made with different bacteria.
Listen, the war between the elves and the dwarves is very important and why I discuss my particular choices in the consumption that is the dairy product
Aged
of cheese.
cheddar.
See, for 2 years there was a political movement that occurred within the Elven lands as there was a standstill on the war front. And during these political meetings, there would be offerings of various cheeses, and I find that only a mixture of Swiss and cheddar cheese melted together would soothe my toothache from having to deal with all of the backhanded compliments that occurred. I'm like, oh my god.
Why does it sound
This
like
toothache I have
something someone
earned
would
during
actually
the
say?
wars against the dwarves, and I've never forgotten that pain ever since. And those meetings, those political meetings with them, always ire me. So that is why I associate the Swiss and the cheddar with such pain, and why I do not enjoy Swiss and cheddar.
Doesn't even sound out of character.
My brain is. I really enjoy Swiss cheese, man. Come on.
I love Swiss cheese.
Cheddar. Fan of the
Uh,
Swiss, not a fan of the Swiss.
A fan of the Swiss, not a fan of the Swiss.
Wait, what do you mean
No, which one?
exactly?
The Swiss don't exist. The cheese is better.
I don't trust the holes in it.
The more cheese you have, the
Yeah,
less cheese you
I
have.
can't trust the Swiss because of their holes. Like,
well,
The
you know,
Swiss in
Swiss
their
cheese
holes.
doesn't naturally grow that way. They cut the holes in it because that's what they do. And it helps it ferment and get air to it and do all those things.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was because the rat people lived inside the cheese.
That too.
Well, in this world, yeah.
No.
Nevertheless. Okay, I gotta open up the other thing. That's what I gotta do. Okay. Well, we are now going to flash forward to like one point of clarification. It's not just one building. There wasn't just one building.
Oh yeah.
Because as you can see, the Beast Crown here is pretty packed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's pretty packed. It was multiple buildings that got hit by this earthquake over here by the stage courts. So, yeah, 100-foot radius. See, it's a decent area. It's a decent area.
Evening Swan's right around there.
It's on the other side, so Evening Swan is okay. Its basement's not. It's okay.
The wine, no.
You know, the consequences. But other than wine, there have been screams from people, of course. As we go through all of this, what is going to be labeled as a tragedy eventually in the annals of the city, because about 1,000 people are involved in this, other than PCs, other than key NPCs, just like people that would like just be out on the street or in the stage courts or in the prison of the stage courts underneath the stage courts. Or like the random janitor in aisle E, row K, you know, that's like cleaning up like the popcorn left from the stage courts last week. You know, like there were lots of like little things that was just like there's a decent amount of people around in this area. Let alone just like the towers of the different houses that are sort of nearby. Like you know, I'm gonna move Mel. Like, the first house is relatively fucking close to this. Right?
Damn,
So
he
is
really
the-
said, Mel, get the fuck out of the way.
You know? And even, like, the wall is, like, almost there, you know? Like, it's just... So, yeah. So, like, with everything kind of going on, I said about 1,000 people are involved. And you all... where we really left off last session, we're reacting, charging in to help these people. Killian first and foremost, and then Falwyn and Birdman was there on his way there after everything to
Our offices.
deal with everything.
My office.
So
My leg.
That fancy cushion Fallon gave me is still in there.
Oh no.
looks like Jenny got disconnected. But nevertheless, yeah, the stagecoach got relatively fucked. And we're gonna have a little scene here that represents kind of what happened after your narrative. So this is where I'm gonna like do like a full recap of last time. We begin midday outside on the streets of the southern parts of the city of Salt. And Master Falwyn has located Oatom, a foxkin rogue of sorts. And the two Elven Sith, saw him when they were taking down Orca 4. He was involved as a third party, to be sure. The Lord Tenebus is teleported, does a quick strikes with some booming blades, and destroys Oatom before really much can happen. He is seen by others. We then switch to Lord Falwyn, who is in the process, has gone to one of his meditative rooms in the tower, the cylindrical room that has vines growing on this one side, climbing up like like did many stories, like 8 stories almost of like wall. And the kind of natural loops and traps within kind of the mage is trying to practice his transmutation spells along the way of flying, floating up and down. And as he concentrates on these telekinetic abilities, he attempts this divine ritual to ask some key questions to. Eventually, we reason it's Jack and some others, but there's our like kind of like a primordial essence, basically, is what I think the first intention was. But we ask about the binds, and whether or not they all need to be undone to awaken. And then we switch to Killian, who's returns to the first district, debriefs with his father about kind of what's happened, and the I described a lot more than I thought it was. And the idea of the stage courts and like the pressure that's even going to put on Killian, supposedly. So Hybern kind of offers to like have him just join as part of the first house, so there's like more backup for him while he's there, basically. Um, Setch is sitting in a coffee house. This is after everything that's already happened today. As an orc boy, trying to decide how he's going to get closer to probably the ballista, basically, and he's able to connect at that point with Falwyn, who, in his divine communion, we could say, he sees kind of Setch's burning blue eyes kind of filter back through, almost like through a mirror. And we then switch to Birdman, who has, in the process of going to the Masinifex temple, where he meets with the Lynxen and Lutrin and other kin that worship the great black spot, otherwise known as the anus of the true power of the primordial.
What a worship
He is recognized even more so now because of his transmutation, and is this. There's another gathering of people around this strange squamata at the same time, celebrating some other thing that he doesn't seem to be a part of. Nevertheless, Masinifex himself, the Lynx and Druid, a creature of his own odd nature, comes over to Birdman and kind of scurries Birdman away into this small house or little hovel situation. One of the what's left of one of these ancient towers that stood before the Tarrasque, kind of destroyed this part of the land, and that then therefore fell and was put to sleep. Birdman talks about his trial at question, and basically is here to look for support, and he finds it quite clearly with the Masinifex people because of the spinal fluid. What he has left of it, but also like the proof of like his own change and mutation that it has caused. They have gathered some themselves, but it was watered down and not quite as useful. The Birdman has some of the purest quality, basically, is the summation of that. And Cinefex goes so far to say he will elect himself or someone else on the jury that will be in Birdman's favor, basically, during the trial. Almu is on his way to the 10th house. He eventually makes his way to Squarmies, and he finds Pio, the Binder Lord of the 10th house, drunk, as he always is, arguing with his other Putori about the coming trial. Others are so angry and wrapped up, he sneaks over to Amu by the door, and they share a drink leaning against the door as the rest of the Putori argue about Pio during the entire time. And Amu brings out some of the special beans he took from Mel's apartment to add to the ale of
Guys,
Pio.
they're not that special. They're just like kind of good.
They shoved weed in there too, so there you go. You missed some things.
Oh, we lost her again.
Oh shit! I think she's getting disconnected.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. There was weed in there too.
Don't look at me. It's all Birdman's fault.
It was Birdman's fault, definitely. But
Wait,
nevertheless,
what the hell?
Pio talks about how he can't find Oatom, and he needs him for what's going on with the court. And he kind of offhandedly mentions that maybe if we just destroyed the stage course, we could avoid everything. But he was very drunk. And discusses a loose plan about like sending messengers to get the Putori out of the basements of the cells and the offices of Stage Court. As Amu has a plan, supposedly to go to this aspect, and Pio agrees because he's fucking drunk. Nevertheless, we switch to Tinebreast, who is standing over the fallen Foxkin, still invisible and disguised as a Boomthera just for extra measure. And he tears his magical braid with destructive force through about a dozen witnesses that sort of saw what he did. Sort of is the key word. And in through a tavern nearby as well. And in the process, he happens to kill one of the judges in the stage courts before he teleports back to the 11th house tower. Fawin finishes his divine connection with the primordial deities, and he asks about the Bork's land Jorvians and their power of the Tarask. He asks about Alucard. Yes, and his kind of connections, basically. And then we switch to Setch, who finds Birdman. And this is where that scene kind of now got misplaced into this other part. But there you go. That's the scene that just happened. And then, nevertheless, So this is way later than when Amu finally leaves from Pio. He makes his way to the stage courts, and he climbs up into the wall, up on the walls of the buildings about 100 feet or so in one of the alleyways. Right? Go back to that stage courts ambiance picture because, he's like up in one of those tall buildings, probably over here somewhere, Okay. And then yeah, there's just an earthquake that happens. In simplest terms. He calls, and the foundations of the stage court and alleyway connecting the buildings just begin to break on themselves because they've already been dug out for years and years beforehand by the Testadine. So the structures that were built on top by the city were already kind of debatable in their foundational structure, to be sure. Innocence, most of the people of the 1,000 people do seem to get away. And the Musteli druid skitters off, and goes, I believe, back to the 10th house.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Killian runs in. He's trying to assist where he can. Fawin comes in afterwards using telekinesis, levitating things. Tenebris begins to go with their telepathic connection. They begin to discuss Tenebris going after the Squamata, seeing if he can find some scales and whatnot. Birdman comes to the rubble of the sage courts, falls to his knees, distraught and overwhelmed just by the loss of the city. Setch is using the chaos to take advantage of the ballista. And my last little note talks about how you guys, Tenebris and Farwin, just made plans for and kind of talked a little bit in their mind's eye while people are clearing out the destruction and whatnot of the stage courts. So, those people that ran to the stage courts, there is a scene I would like to play out with that that would happen after, with the assistance of you all and other houses, most keenly being the first house, as they're usually most involved with the stage courts as being closest to them. They have cleaned out the initial kind of big pieces in the way, but now it's like getting down into the rooms and finding what, if there are people and whatnot, kind of thing going on. So this will mostly involve, with that case, Hillian in the background, Fawin, who has come over, Mel, and Birdman. And then Almu, who caused this, is away. Setch is at the ballistas doing that more or less during this. And then Tenebris is on the search for Squamata. So
Oh yeah, right.
what I want to do is for those three that have had the least stage time, so to speak, so far, Tenebris, Almu, and Setch, kind of go to them first and kind of establish a little bit more of what they're doing. And then we're gonna like roll initiative on the map for like the stage courts, as there is a little bit of drama that I want to play out in initiative to see if you guys are able to take care of some things that are kind of, it's like accidental things that have happened because of what has occurred here. That's like things that I didn't quite foresee as a consequence that totally make sense as a consequence, that would like mess up some of the political dealings with the houses you guys are involved with. So like how you guys react to this might determine some of that, or don't choose not to react to, as that very well says. But like it makes sense for me and my brain for what Tenebris, Amu, and Setch are doing, that they're not exactly here. So I want to go to Tenebris first, and kind of establish more of like his search and like what he's actually trying to do in order to locate the scaly paladin that you
Yeah,
all
that's the
face.
thing. He can't really do a whole lot because, yeah, he's a juggernaut, not a tracker, so he's just stumbling about.
No, you never know. Maybe you get lucky.
If it spells for it, Eva, that could help that, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of, there's more than one way to do it, or you could just, survival
Well,
checks are beautiful things.
I was gonna say, unless Seth can give recommendations, if I could, Francis, but I guess also Farm would also do it as well because conniving. Uh, we may not know exactly where the Squamata is, but we do know he's liberated some prisoners. Uh, he seems to have some sort of positive connection with some of the prisoners. Perhaps some
That's
might be
true.
easier to find, so you can find your ultimate prize. I think Farm kind of relates some sort of idea to that.
Alrighty then. Then I
But I
suppose
think
it's
also far it would be like, well, if those prisoners had political bargaining chips, maybe don't kill them yet.
oh
All right.
really?
Yet.
Yeah, is the keyword.
I
Oh,
would
okay.
like you, Tenebris, to roll like an investigation or a history check to see if you could initially just on your own recognize any
Same modifier,
political
just
connections from what you saw.
history or investigation. History.
Well, you do, sir. With the 28. Okay, there were a yeah, I think that makes sense. So in good old like flashback terms, we flash back to the vault. And your brain like organizes a lot of what was there, and you just all the faces and things, right?
Yeah.
And you see Falwen and Orcafor and him die, and you see the guy you were fighting, and then you try to, you know, veer back further in your mind to the different people you saw, and you kind of line them up in a lineup, right, so to speak, and you can tell basically uh, yeah, two key political figures with that check. And they're only like three sort of with that check. The third is like it sort of matters, but not so much now that Mel is who Mel is. But nevertheless, the Badger, um, is named Theamine, and she is the heir to the sixth house.
Ooh.
Uh, she was captured by Orcafor apparently during that time. The second is Phineas Shadowblossom.
Oh shit.
He's kind of like a high-ranking member in the ninth house. He's been around for a while. He knows different things about Xantha and his daughters that other people wouldn't know. You know, that kind of play. And then this is the third kinda that I mentioned. His name is Centaur. Centaur Ghost Eye. He runs kind of a black market bodyguard company that the 12th house used to fund through marrow miners and other drow looking for work. You think he's probably how Orgafor became aware of Lady the lady of the 12th house that was in charge before Mel took over the 12th house.
So he was in cahoots with the mate.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah,
The other people are decently high-ranking members of the houses. I'll just kind of mention the houses. You have members of the second and third house here, not necessarily people you know. A member of the seventh house, one of their clergy, and a knight of the first house. So not someone that has like a name you would know, but people that like you would know enough that he's like, you know, he has connections. Oh, and then yeah, no, this guy's the second house one, but nevertheless.
For purely political reasons, I should definitely avoid killing anyone from the first house.
They are the strongest in arms. Like even more than Mel. Like they're the only house that has like more people than Mel does at this point.
The melon and the halfling, and maybe the clergy of the seventh house.
Maybe like, and he's a low-ranking member. With that 28, you'd know he's a part of the clergy, but he's a low-ranking member of the clergy. The most unique thing about him is he's a mutated squamata. They're what are called agogi, and the Masinifex worship them as proof of the power of the Great Black Hole.
Ah, that's right.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Clean our
What do
hands
you
of this
think?
and kill him.
What do you? No, wait.
No.
When you say it's a gift from the hole,
Kill
what
him.
does
He's
that
dying
mean?
first.
I love how there's so many like
Hold on.
tautology. This is a tautology, as we call it, when it has
Yeah.
two meanings at the same time. um, like I love the perspective that we know they're worshiping the anus, but to these worshippers, it's not just the anus. It's like this honest to God, like, you know, everything that comes out of there is something that changes things and makes things better. You know, it's just like
Well, I
the
want to know
people.
why.
The marrow miners enter through the anus and then find things in there, and then they bring it out, and we can make, like, you know.
This is why the term sniffing your own farts exists.
That's so wild.
I love
What
it. I
if you
love it.
fart inside the Tarrasque?
I will
It
admit,
comes out. You
admittedly,
fart
when
about
I
the Tarrasque
first
portion.
wrote Cinefex down, this wasn't 100% the first intention of the
That's
wording,
so
but
funny.
like,
Passes in the anus.
I think it
Does
was,
it
I think
really
it,
happen?
yeah, it wasn't 100% my intention. It was just the great black hole, and then one of you said anus, and I was just like, why not? Because it makes sense with
Yeah.
where their
It's
temple
does
is
make
placed.
sense,
It was when he
though.
killed
In the
Okafor.
lore.
Well, and their temple is placed right by its ass.
It's right there.
It's right there.
You know,
That's what I
like,
mean. It's right here.
like
It's right
they go
there.
out on top of the temple like, and watch.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
No, yeah. This was like, wait, yeah.
They get hard at the tensing of the anus.
Nevertheless,
It's like he ate a civilization one time and they found one dude in there and he just so happened to be this guy. And it's like, oh yeah, that's why we worship him, because we found him in the butthole. Why was he in there?
What?
How did he get in there? How long was he in there before this people's rescued him?
Details.
A while.
okay. Well,
Where do we find ourselves here?
I need to write that down before I forget. All right, so prisoners.
I guess the best course of action would be to go to the black market guy first, eh?
Which black market guy?
The Dragonborn.
The Dragonborn guy.
Oh, yeah.
other
Centaur. Okay.
Yep, I remain terrible with names.
It's okay. Let me find a sheet. All right. You are making your way to the
Downtown.
Exactly.
Going downtown.
Going
Making my
down.
way downtown.
Oh, there you are. I was like, where is it? I know
Oh,
I know I have a mini token of you somewhere. Okay. I don't think Tenebris has ever been to this part of the city yet, but your other characters have spent a lot of time in this part of the city. But you're basically returning to the 12th house district, like traditional 12th house district.
Woo! The
to
former.
Yeah, the former 12th house district, which is like right now is under control by the 9th house, pretty much. So there are different weird mages walking about. I believe you cast Seeming on yourself, so you probably still look like a Poomthera.
What must be done? Do not hesitate. Show no mercy.
And Centaur is an easy person to find on the whole. He kind of has made his business about that idea because his business is about contacts within the city. And he has obviously been, you can tell just by his office that is still in the same established place as before the fall of the 12th house, that he's weaseled his way into the 9th house graces in some capacity. He has something that they want, obviously. He is, it's a small office that has just rows of scrolls on shelves. obviously details and laws and ordinances of the city and things like that, as well as like names and lists of like people he works with, like kind of thing, and people he hires. Like I said, he's like a people come for him mostly for like bodyguards. So he knows a lot of the grunts of the city, the god butchers, the marrow miners, a lot of the first house. He even before this. So and he uh is tall, to be sure, over 7 feet tall. One emerald kind of eye glints at you very obviously, and the other one's like this pale white. These deep red scales, dragonborn. You can tell just by the scales, not squamata. So he hails from Droln, far to the northeast, the dragonborn sanctum city. And he probably sees a weird Poomthera coming through. Poomthera are in the city of Salt, but they're not the most common Animaesus, to be sure. So he would probably wave at you to come walk the 10 feet or so towards the desk, and he obviously has two, you think they're drow, but they have, like, cloths drawn over their faces, like bodyguards, that are, like, sitting back behind him, basically. And he has this little, like, ledger, he has this ledger open, he closes as you come forward, and he's a big muscular dude. You don't think you'd have any issue taking him one on one
Damn,
kind
did
of
some of the
thing.
drow gnolls get loose?
There you didn't kill every drow in the city.
I know.
Like,
But why are they covered with cloth if they're not mine? Everyone knows that's my thing. Come
well,
on.
you know.
I was gonna say in a fight, right? In a fight.
So, what does our Poomthera do, and how do you want to introduce yourself if you do?
I'm walking straight up to the guy and I'm coming right out with it. I'm asking him, "Hey, if I needed to find someone, would I be in the right address here?"
Depending on who you're looking for, I can find them.
Oh, that's what I like to hear. Ah, it's quite a few people. Oh,
Shit, he's a pirate.
Oh, God. Oh no.
You might
Quick
be.
stat, roll a dice. Is
What even is a pirate?
Does he have his blood or
Oh, well, you know.
He is not a son of Dova,
There we go.
unfortunately.
We just had to rule that out.
Unfortunately, but he is. Jenny actually might. Well, Jenny wasn't part of. Jenny was.
Huh?
This is one of Killer's characters, actually.
Oh.
Oh,
So this
wait,
is.
which one?
I don't think you ended up actually playing with us when we did the one shot a few years back. But this is his character
I
from
played
the
in one
12.
of them.
Like when we did the Clan Row, Killer was
I played
there.
in the Cladden row.
This was for the Animaesus, which I think you weren't able to make the Animaesus one. It was during the same
Yeah,
summer.
I think I had some stuff going
It was
on.
during the same summer when I did it, but yeah. Nevertheless, this
Wait.
is Killer's Dragonborn from
Stop.
your guys's thing. When you dealt with the basically the 10th house learning of the Tarask clones, which inevitably led to Eros and Birdman's first job to find the anatomy, parts in the warehouse. So.
Baby Tarask.
The job
Wait.
that started it all.
Was that the same one shot that had Sophie in there?
Mm-hmm.
How do I forget about Killer in that? Dang.
Oh. His character was just kind of a grunt. He didn't like. His character very much just was like he did a lot of damage during the fight because he's.
I
a
remembered
paladin.
mine, Waters, and Sophie's, but I completely forgot about Killer's.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, but yeah, he's so Tenebris. He asks you, well, give me a description at least, a name.
For example, have you recently seen quite peculiar looking squamata? Radiant weaponry, big armor, big shield.
Wamata and Okogi are all about. Scales are more easy to discern. Was it chromatic? Metallic?
It was brass, if I remember correctly, right?
Roll a history check.
Where is my sheet? My sheet, my sheet. Here.
Where is my
History. Where's my sheet? I lost my sheet, man.
My sheet is gone.
Why?
Where is my sheet?
Why did you lose your sheet? I do not understand.
I'm about to sheet my fuck.
Don't do that.
I will.
Okay. Yeah. Where did I put his sheet? See, there you go.
I'm losing my sheet. What is
I
this?
only
Oh,
feel a
that's what I
sheet.
did with it.
Lost the sheet.
Sheet.
Yeah. He is bronze scaled.
That's a did remember correctly. He was brass scaled, if I recall correctly.
He's bronze. You don't see many bronze this far inland. Most of them stick to the river, or more preferably the moon veins. Keeping an eye out. How soon has this person been in town?
From my estimations, should have recently appeared just a few days ago.
I will have him roll a check. See if he does. And he gets an at 20.
Nice.
Uh,
That makes it easier.
well, I don't know nothing about any shiny armor or other bits as you described. But I do know of Macinefix bringing in a new. We made quite a to-do day before yesterday.
You mean the
He
fucked up looking
blessed
lizard guy?
someone in the black hole.
Ah, yeah, that guy.
Has not been done. That has not been done in nigh on 2 years. Quite a special occasion.
Special, yes.
So special, he even invited Lord the 8th house to bear witness and play the music.
And as said, Tenebris thinks, I can't wait to get out of this madhouse.
Oh shit! I lost my sheet.
I love the
He lost
irony
the
of
sheet.
that, Greed, so get an inspiration point. From the
Thanks.
guy who just
Maybe
murdered
a
a dozen people.
Hey, that was for fun. These people are crazy.
So you need to go to the Shrine of Macinefix as best as you understand.
Alright. Ah, thank you, my good man. I shall be on my way now.
So, question. Do you go the long way and go through the city street, through the gate, to the shrine? Or do you go the short way somehow with flying or whatnot? Do that.
I could fly, but I only have an eagle whistle for that, and that we don't need that attention. So we're going the long way.
Okay. Relatively easy to pass through. It's not an issue. Well, earthquake going on. Yeah, most people are like, you're like, I picture like people are running towards the earthquake or like trying to go to their positions, and we have this like calm Pumthera just like hands in its robe pockets, just walking like slowly,
He's
slowly
just
towards
vibing. The
the shrine
Driftwood
of
City theme is
Cinemax.
playing. He's just strolling through the city.
Okay. Uh,
Typical New
once
Yorker shit.
once at the shrine, I would like you to roll a perception check, based
Yeah.
upon sight, to see if you can, as you initially come to the throng of people, most of them towards that leftmost kind of part of the shrine, closest to the tail, as they kind of watch the dust and billow forming from the earthquake. Some leaving and activating magic or whatever to like go over that way.
That's an advantage still because foresight.
Ah, yes. You see a figure enrobed standing behind who you believe is Masinifex, this arch druid of the worshippers of the black hole. Um, they are covering most of their being, but they're obviously reptilian, from what you can best tell. And uh, their size is similar, to be sure, to the creature you fought. It's eerie, like how much their shoulders seem to bear the similar weight, but no obvious weapons or armor or other features that you seem to have put together for that person to like say, hey, this is obviously them. Like you're only honestly like 60% sure it's them. Like from what
Yeah,
you
not to
initially
mention
see.
Tenebris isn't entirely sure if the weapons he himself had were actual physical weapons, or if he just could conjure these shiny things for other people that was never really established in the dungeon.
When you fought him in the dungeon, you know distinctly by how many when you were attacking him, his armor was not physical. He had energy was making his armor. Well, his weapon, it was hard to tell. Things were moving so fast.
Oh, okay. That must have skipped my memory.
So, um, the what do you do? What do you want to do? Because right now you look like a Pumthera, and there are many Linkson and other catfolk that are part of Masinifex's thing, because Masinifex himself is, and his family has always kind of been that. So you kind of blend in the best here, honestly, ironically, of any place in the city.
Yeah, that was the plan then. I'm just going to blend in for a bit, keep an eye, keep an ear open, sniff around, and then pretty much wait for an opportunity to catch the guy alone.
I'd like you to roll an investigation check, um, at disadvantage because there's a lot going on with the commotion and people around, to try to
Just
pinpoint.
wait.
Yeah. Okay. Then all right. Then I would like to. All right. Then I would like to go to uh Amu, and ask a question on how do you return to PO's? Like, do you take what kind of trail do you want to take from the stage course and whatnot? Because that wasn't quite clear in my brain from last time.
Oh, it's literally just like traveling along the rooftops in the 13 house district, and then going to the 10th house from there.
Okay. Um. Do you okay? Then are you being sneaky?
I mean, yeah, I can try. We could see what happens, you know? The 22.
Where are you? There you are.
I'm in your nightmares.
Okay. All right. You get back to Squirmies, and you find a couple dozen more Putori there than you're used to seeing from people. Obviously, coming from the stage courts, a murmur and gasp at the same time as you enter in the room. You're about, 6 inches to a foot taller than most of the other Putori around you, as the Mustelli that you are, and they all stare at you with some sort of confusion and apprehension, a little bit, murmurs about, and Pio kind of stands above them all on the table, leaning against to his giant stein like he normally is. Covered obviously in ale. He's drank quite a bit, you can see today. Uh, but he still stands as best he is able, and his eye fixed on you. That right eye, to be sure, even as he kind of stumbles and wavers a little bit with each breath. Uh, and they don't really part to let you kind of closer to Pio. They're kind of like waiting to see what he says or what you say, kind of thing. You know, close to 40 to 50 different Putori now in Squirmies. Um, what does Amu do?
Amu would, in his timid, very timid manner, while he rubs his little paws together, his eyes darting around the room left and right, looking at all the other, looking at all the Praetori in there, eyeing him, just kind of like bows his head down a little and just starts walking forward towards Pio, and he uh, doesn't really try to be polite as he squeezes through. He just walks forward, and if shoulders get bumped, shoulders get bumped.
Uh, Shoulders get bumped a few times, but people generally let you pass. Uh, and you climb Skitter up to the seat, and a few other Putori kind of skitter away from you. In some surprise that you're walking and climbing up to the seat in some ways. And they kind of make position, and Pio has turned around, and he's like, he's no longer leaning against the side, and he's a little more serious than he than some most of the time he is, and he's just like, "You did it, you really did it."
Well, you suggested that it would be a way to make things easier. So
Yeah, Yeah. Yeah, easier in some ways. You weren't followed?
I'm relatively certain, yes, I was not.
Okay. The only issue I see from this for right now is I'm not sure all of you weren't followed, and he points at the rest of the room. And there's murmuring and chittering amongst the Butori, like, what? No, come on. And he's like, come on, and he raises his hand, shut up, shut up. There's 40 of you. Guaranteed one of those googly-eyed, uh... well, I can't say I'm exactly angry, but I'm a little shocked. It is odd to have someone that actually has some follow through with what they're gonna. If the other houses find out that you're connected to me, then I'm a little worried about that. So, with that idea, would anyone have any idea of you doing this? Do we need? I can snap my fingers and
Mob boss mentality.
get a couple people to take care of some people. Probably everyone other than your giant wolf friend. I'm not so sure. I might need to call in a favor from Drome for that.
If there are, if there is anyone that would perhaps suffice a guess, I would only surmise that it would be those that I have been in contact with, and I am not sure that the typical rabble would be able to deal with it. I would much prefer that if any issues arise, that I would be the one to deal with it, like in the old days of our youth.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll just have to kind of wait and see. I probably should send some assistance to what this is to kind of create the. I wasn't expecting quite as big as what you made there, man. So, go big, right? Go big.
Well, if I may, there is a plausible deniability that can be made on your behalf. After all, I am more of a lone agent in all of this. I merely have moved nature in a way that was always bound to happen at some given point in time, based off of the dealings of the city, as I have seen. While there are those who wish to maintain the relative peace, I also can tell there are those who seek to unleash the force of nature that is currently chained down within the heart of the city.
uh, okay. Well, okay. 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 I need a drink.
You already have a drink.
I know. Give me another one. The rest of you are sworn to silence, otherwise Amu will turn you into one of his spells. And you won't like it. Okay? Okay. Okay.
Amu.
And or my squamata friend over there will eat you.
Amu would, even still with his very timid nature, would just look over his shoulder down at all the other Putori, and again, even with his like head bowed down and his hands nervously folding over each other, there's like in the center of his eye that look of being a part of my spell is the like best option that you could have.
It's the better option. There's some squirming, there's some murmuring about how you're the one the most at fault here. Like, there's some murmuring about Pio kind of making the wrong decision. Pio doesn't seem any phased by this Pittori talk. They're talkers. They just kind of what they do. And he kind of waves it all off and he says, "Well, I think you should maybe hang around here just in case for at least a day or so. Just to make sure one of our other friends doesn't attract some unneeded attention, and like you said, you would like to be the one that handles it."
Yes, and it should worse come to worse, and we need we need an escape. I would be able to access via the basement tree a means outside of the city. Very easily. It wouldn't take much effort.
Okay. Um, as he says, okay. The there's a knock on the door. From the human size perspective, rather than the Animaesus size, and the Putori go to like the peephole down in the bottom right, where they can easily see upwards towards it, and kind of arcing their head up to the left to look over at who's at the door, and they're like, it's a wolf and a bird. You know, wolf and a bird, Mr. P.O.? Mr. P.O. shakes his head. He looks towards Amu.
I will see. And Amu will scurry over to the door and will crack it open.
Roll a
Up.
perception check to see if you recognize them more than like what you see.
Yeah, okay. Wow. You know what? I'll use my inspiration to try again. Slightly better.
Indeed. Okay. Uh the wolf is an associate of Killian's. You saw him when you've gone to the first house a few times. But he is obviously not with Killian by any means. He and the bird. You saw Killian in his giant form during the fight with the coup that happened, and then the return fight with the fifth house and stuff like that. And he's kind of fighting stuff going around. Like, you feel like this bird was there in that fight. You just don't remember the exact situation of how or why. Kind of thing. And the bird, as you creak open the little thing, its left eye like arcs down and like locks eyes with you. And it starts to speak in common.
Hello, little one. We are looking for an associate of the 10th house, we believe, who resides here. We have questions relating to an incident down the street.
There are many different associates of the 10th house. After all, it is a house. Most houses have associates.
Yes, but the 10th house is one of the closest to the tragedy tonight. We know there are many small little eyes such as yours. We are wondering what they have seen. Witnesses, to be sure.
I guess so? I'm sorry, I'm not terribly familiar with the layout of the city, so I'm not exactly quite sure what's relatively close to this incident that you speak of.
You're not exactly lying, but you just ran from there, so. um,
I still don't know like which houses are technically close. If there's a closer house or not, though. I don't.
he kind of his eyebrow kind of cocks a little bit about that, and then he waits for a moment, and then he is going to. Well, we would like to speak with the master of the house if he is in.
I am afraid you'll find that he is quite shit-faced at the moment, so I'm not sure how useful that would be for you.
Drop. Well, ah, we will. He goes to his robe and he pulls out this odd thing. And what I can do. And he says, I have something that I think can assist with this. If he is indeed indisposed, as you say, I can help him feel better. This is one of my special purposes for this choice, so he may use one of my items to assist. And you see this odd stone in his hand, about the size of your head, that is almost like a shard of a crystal, but it rather than like it looks like a shard of crystal at first glance, but you can see it's like honestly almost been grown into that shape. You get the impression, and it's like in the process of growing more and more. And there's like this, it's like pinky purpley color inside of it, and it looks like a mixture of like dried ice, if not glass, that like encases around it. Obviously, some magic of a decent level like just emanates off of it, and yeah.
I nah. I'll attempt an Arcana check. I doubt I'll fucking get it though.
You did. It's not. It was a DC 16. This is a transmuter's stone.
Me okay?
And he will. Yeah. He will, basically, he's using it so he can give, Pio some extra help on his con saves to get over.
Okay, I will see if it is at all helpful then. And he'll...
I will need to come with you inside to ensure it is used properly. You do not seem like a capable wizard.
Rude.
Very, very well. Please do mind the Praetori. It would be preferable if you didn't step on their tails.
He nods. And
The PO creaks the door open more so and skitters over to PO on the table. Brother, if you're not too indisposed, this bird and wolf wishes to question you about a recent incident that has occurred nearby.
Pio looks over and he squints a little bit and he's like, come on in, come on in. And the wolf kind of steps forward in front of the Avis, the bird folk, has been doing all the talking. And then the bird folk kind of steps halfway in and like looks about, and his beak is moving as he's obviously like muttering something. And I need to do a thing.
Do the thing!
A good thing or bad thing?
I don't know, but do it anyway.
We'll find
Oh,
out
right.
in a second, I think.
It's a thing.
In the next episode
The
of
thing
Dragon Ball Z Kai.
to-
Oh, oh, oh.
Don't make me bust out my whip.
Bust out your
Go on
whip.
for me with a good time.
Bust out your whip. What? Okay.
It's down my whip.
Do I?
Do you?
Do I?
You wait.
Look, I'm ready to
Well,
blight a
then I'll use it.
motherfucker at any point in time. Don't tempt me.
DTB down.
I'm down to blight, bro.
Down to blight, bro. DTBB.
Okay. Down to blight.
Down to blight, bro.
Okay.
Down.
I need to draw one sheet. Character now. 'Cause the rest of them, I don't think it's gonna matter. Oh no, 2 more sheets down.
Fucking everyone's just been treating Amu like, oh, he says some weird things, but he's a good guy. Like, no, there's a screw loose in there.
There is. I think that was quite apparent by this point. Okay. Amu and people inside Squirmies. I need you to roll a dexterity save.
Oh,
As once it's clear that the door is open and everyone has attention on him, the bird flings a fireball inside.
This motherfucker.
Nice.
Well, I got
No.
I got 2 opportunities to fucking. Nope, not happening. Almost.
So
Motherfucker just
That's one of the
no.
someone
only.
sends their regards.
It's one of the only 2 saves I don't have access to. What are you going
I
to?
need
Bloody fuck.
to roll for. Okay, so literally like 30 of those 40 Patori are dead, just dead. Nothing they could do. They're just done.
Oh man, they upped my number.
Okay. Amu, I would like you to roll a sanity save, please.
Okay.
Okay. You
Woo!
watch a giant group of your people get Wade here. And let's say these guys, for ease of things, well, just do that. And that. Okay.
Racine? Oh shit.
Um,
How are you seen?
he wasn't seen.
What the 40 other ones were?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
All right. And then Amu, I'm gonna bring you to a new map. And
Everything is so dark.
Oh.
Ah. That's why. Because it's all weird.
oh yeah, you're on the roof. It's supposed to be you inside, but there you go. Light. Change. Delete that. There you go.
Is that blood?
Yeah, there's blood everywhere.
It's the city.
What's the green shit?
Who
It's
knows?
Jurassic blood.
It's all blood.
Okay.
It's all
Always has
blood.
been.
It's dried
Doesn't
Jurassic.
matter what
blood.
color it is, it's freaking blood.
It's dried Jurassic blood. All right. Okay. So
Well, that's not
the Putori, what are left of them, and a few of his other thugs, and of course his like main protector, like all stand up, and you know Pio's okay. And a couple of them run to the windows and whatnot, and they're like, we're surrounded. And the yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. Whereas what is Setch doing? He's taking care of Ballista right now. So
Yeah.
he's like,
He's either taking care of a ballista, and immediately after that he's going to go sleep.
okay. Okay.
all
So
Deadpool.
yeah, so we can play a little game of Setch Seas though.
Oh.
Just a
Set
little game.
Seas.
Just a little.
I love a game of
Such
Set Seas.
A little game of Setch Seas.
I'm down,
To
clown.
return.
As such, when he's in this back part of the wall of the city, switching to a new map for a moment, another map for a moment. When he's near down here, is when he's going to see whatever Tenebris is about to do to this fucking Squamata. Is what he's about to see. So,
Oh no.
like you're watching what I don't know, whatever is about to happen here. So this is I just need to drop a different token. And Setch. Not Setch. I think Master Tenebris, what are you doing? I'm rolling initiative because I feel like you're gonna attack this guy soon, but I don't know.
I'm not quite sure yet.
So
Is there anything I would have heard or seen that could help me in my search for the other fuckers?
what other fuckers?
In my search for the paladin stuff. Unless it's something else, like especially I'm a little out of it right now, if I'm being honest.
Unless that is the paladin in question, I don't know.
Is that problem in question?
Probably not.
Roll.
Maybe.
Your investigation check lets you know you're not exactly sure. What do you do?
Ah, that's what it was. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Attack.
Attack.
Attack. I'm just
Attack.
gonna attack. I
Attack.
must have just clicked long rest last time for some reason, so I'm not entirely sure which spells I've used. Obviously a 4th level spell for Greater Invis it was. Teleport was gone. And a Steel Wing Strike. Did I use it once or twice? I don't know. No one. How many spells
No.
did I use?
I know Steel One Strike for sure. At least once.
And then Teleport, of course. Greater Invis. So that's 3 spells with gone.
I think you lightning some people.
You did
Chain
chain
lightning,
lightning.
right?
Yeah.
Alright, then that was 4. So I think we've got them all. Okay, then we got them.
And you're seeming.
True! Okay. Now we got them.
Okay.
What
Okay.
spells do I have for this fucker? Let's see.
I will, if you roll a stealth check and beat his passive perception, I'll
right
give
there,
you a
yeah.
I'll give you a surprise attack.
Thank you. Alright, stealth. It's not very good, but I have advantage.
Do you want me to roll perception to see how much I see? Or can I just see all this happening?
This is such seas, you see it.
You see it.
I just such
Yes.
wild.
Okay, so okay, you will get a surprise round as there's a bunch of people around in the temple, and I imagine you sneak out close to him, almost behind him, and then you do what for your surprise round?
Alright, first of all, a 3rd level Shadow Blade. Mixing it up a little bit. No Greater Invis this time. And I'm attacking with Shadow Blade, Booming Blade. Where is my Elven accuracy thing?
Can I?
There it is.
How far up the wall am I? Like how far is the wall from down there?
100 feet.
24. There's a 24 hit. No, 25 actually.
25 hits.
Alright, oh, and of course it goes without saying blades and stuff.
Am I allowed to fuck this, or do it just cease?
If you're in range, sure.
See, is it all good? It's all good. Perfect. Let's use it. There it is. Nope, that's offhand. That's a regular one. That's a 26 from the Shadow Blade. And the Booming Blade is over here. Boom. 10 from this. And 14 if he moves. And then they go with the Shadow Blade again, which I think the damage is a bit fucked up. Yeah, it's set to Charisma for some reason, so let me... It's... Alright. So that's 4 more damage on the Booming Blade. On the Shadow Blade. That's 26 actually. It was at the wrong setting. And I'm attacking again. Yep. It's the 23.
Yep.
Zagged. And now it won't let me click the thing. I'm going crazy. Why is my
Okay.
sheet automatically fuck itself all the time? I don't get it. 28.
Oh my god.
Woo! Kill them all.
Yo, y'all gotta teach me how to play these martial classes, bro, because I can't do math.
Bro,
like
I'm a
that.
wizard.
I know.
Are you?
You're a martial wizard though,
You're
so
a
You're doing it
martial
wrong.
wizard. You're not
Yeah,
casting
Sith
like you're
warrior.
casting like support spells on yourself to buff your shit. I don't know how to fight with a sword in this game, bro.
How do you use
I mean,
sword?
there is no spell more martial than I summon another sword.
Yeah. But like
okay.
I'm a wizard.
What is
You
my
cast a spell
shadows?
to summon another sword. You're not a wizard.
Okay,
I am a
so
wizard. It's magic.
all right, simultaneously while that's going down,
Mm-hmm.
So
the
I'm on a horse.
Me on horse.
Oh, what the heck?
the Fawin and Killian and Mel and Birdman, such I already had you down below.
Oh,
I
this
already
is
had, yeah. It was patience,
Oh,
patience,
okay.
patience.
Yes.
There you go. But nevertheless, you guys have cleared enough of the rubble to where you have hopped down into the stage court's actual below ground area and are beginning to assist with the rescue, more or less. I would like all PCs, and I will begin to play for Killian to on this map that are here proper. So Mel, Birdman, Fawin, roll initiative, please.
Oh, initiative.
Everybody roll initiative?
You guys already are on the initiative order from the other map. It's not going to show for you because we're on a new map.
Alright, then I gotta roll on the other map.
No, you don't need to roll. I can see it. Oh, if you didn't roll yet at all,
I
then
didn't roll yet because
Yeah.
it was surprise and I didn't roll initiative.
Yeah, that's fine. Then roll. That's fine.
Give me
You
initiative.
all rolled high.
Well.
Okay, so we're now gonna kind of. We're now gonna kind of break it apart a little bit. So at this point, I would like to give everyone each person gets 2 points of inspiration.
Holy moly.
Um, everyone gets 2
Everybody gets 2.
on top of whatever you already have. Most of you have spent your 1, so by this point, but not all of you, but most of you. Nevertheless, so you rolled it again, and after I already said it. Yeah. Okay. Fawin. Basically, why we're rolling initiative is this place is extremely unstable, as well as the other combats that are happening pretty much simultaneously.
Yeah.
So, to help kind of keep track of those things a little bit, we will, looking at the time that it currently is, though, I asked the question to the group, do we want to pause here, or do we want to play at least one round, or are we game
Don't you
for a
count them
little
all?
longer, or whatever?
I'm down the clown.
Hell yeah.
I gotta go in a little bit, unfortunately.
Oh,
That's
well,
a
that's
little
it.
bit, but now it's
How
now.
long?
For me, I do have one action that I would like to do before combat starts a true.
Like, if we're doing combat, like I think we should stop and start at a combat next time.
Then
I just
let's
don't know when I'll be
do.
back.
Oh, so this is combat?
This
Well,
is
like, it's not like
This is.
we're gonna
It's
be in
not.
initiative, right?
It's not. You're in initiative, and it's combat in the sense that you're fighting against the building. You're not really fighting against a creature.
Yeah. It's like a
Like,
scenario. That we're
yes,
starting.
like literally what I did
Like
here
lethal.
is to be more upfront, I guess. I made this as a complex trap, is what I made this as. Like, so the buildings, like, you've opened it enough, but down here in the basement, like, it is so unstable here that you guys have moments before like you may not be able to get these people out, kind of thing. So, and there's also another layer to this that Killian cares a little bit, but not more than you do, as uh, as this is you guys are jumping down. One of the other guys that joins you is. Oh, I did roll this. Okay, I rolled this advantage. Okay, is Diro of the first house, and he comes down and he like pushes past everyone, and like there's a big like boulder that almost falls next to him, and he kind of absentmindedly but danger sensibly enough because he's a barbarian gets out of the way, and he looks and cups his hand. He's like, "Son, where are you, son?" So um he's gonna be pushing in a little bit more to like save his son, who is presumably one of the guards down here for the first house. There are also some key NPCs that are down here that it might matter whether or not in the future with certain things that you guys are doing that they're alive, or not. So I don't know. We'll see. So in that essence, let's do a quick little bit of if there's any role play or quick setups like Amu wants to do here for like to get you in this position. I'm more than game for that idea. But I know Mel wanted. I know Jenny, you said you had to leave here shortly. So is there anything you want? Like this is going to be, from where we just were with all those conversations. This is like almost 12 to 14 hours later, from where we were in the beginning of this session. So this is the first time you've been together with these people since um, those last like that Fawin and everything, and Birdman in the carriage and whatnot. And you haven't seen Killian for a couple days. So I don't know. Is there anything you guys want to do a setup or any quick role play you want to do before we wrap it up?
Like as we're all together.
Mm-hmm. Because you guys would basically have been working together for the last 20, 30 minutes, like tearing out this rubble with Fawin's magic, Killian's immense strength. I imagine Killian is in rage right now, so
Yeah, he's a giant. Yeah,
yeah.
He's big. All his big abilities.
he big, he big, big.
Big boy.
Hmm. Don't get me wrong. What was it? Because definitely, rescuing civilians is a good look on the outside. Of course, Afaron wants to find people who understand the court structure, mostly because they're probably going to need some sort of consultation with someone once experts are dead, as far as making sure that the courts come back together. Farwin is trying to find people who he knows who are probably going to need that sort of guidance.
So I imagine with that description, Baldwin, I'm gonna move your token just a hair down the map. He starts to beeline more past uh, the two sides where a lot of the rubble is and goes more towards the doors, where he knows eventually will lead to what judges and attorneys would still be standing after everything, like, the people that have the most power in the court for those situations, as well as any witnesses or confidants or liaisons of the houses that were setting up for the trial. They would be in these rooms. And Birdman's office, you've spent a few times down there, is just down the hall.
All right. I guess audibly, Fallen would say, Killian is the most suited to rescue as many people as he can within his arms. There are more people inside these doors that must be retrieved.
Okay. Make the plan.
What are your skill sets, Birdman, with maneuvering through difficult terrain?
I eat shit. I can climb up plants really fast. Stones kind of just move out of the way, dude. I kind of like glide on them. Like I can do backflips and shit. It's pretty cool. I'm
Very
good.
well,
I
Birdman.
can rescue
You're with
people.
me.
Let's go.
All right.
Lady Abathanta, do you wish to assist Killian or do you wish to come with the elves?
I will go on my own. I have sent for my army, so they will be here shortly to assist in removing injured.
Mel would know from time that she spent in previous episodes of the campaign way back. This is the upper floor. There's still the lower floor that has a different access point that no one has checked on before. So if you
Mhm.
wanted to, which would lead
Probably a
to
bunch
the
of people
prison
about
area.
to die.
Yeah, it would lead to the prison area, the main prison area. But there's as a binder lord, let alone someone who was a confidant to the Ninth House for as long as you were, like that prison has 100+ people in there that are trapped, kind of thing, and desperate
Mel,
enough people that might agree to joining a new house after everything's said and done.
yep.
Yeah, hey. There
Her
you go. You're
plan
getting a
is
standing
if
army
there's
that doesn't have to be in
anyone,
bed.
yeah, if there's anyone who's like death's door, she'll ask if they want to be a vampire.
No, dude.
Good. Good.
All right, so Mel basically like makes her way back away from mom and basically through the bleachers and down and then out eventually, and then regroups with part of your militia that's been coming to help, and then you all go to around the back end alleyway to this, which is more close to where Amu was actually concentrating from, just perspective speaking. But more close to
And
the
she'll
where the
send
Trask
some of
is.
her army to help the others as well with just additional manpower.
Okay. So we have some more vampires to make. Um,
God.
which is always a fun statement to make
Yeah.
as a DM.
Yeah.
It's
More
always a fun thing.
He gets
vampires.
to go like through the catalog, like he's looking at records, like this one's a vampire, and then this one's a vampire, and then this one's gonna be a vampire.
Okay.
All the vampires.
All I'm saying
Um.
is the dead three gotta cook.
Dead three are cooking right now.
Okay, so then
All we need is our little dark urge.
okay, so next time we can do one of two things next time. We can either pick up directly into this combat, which we potentially may not have Jenny, is kind of my question.
I will not be here,
Okay.
unfortunately.
But we will have Nova back, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And so we can pick up with that and kind of do the three-way. The only thing that's the biggest downside of that is mostly I see for Vedwin's point of view is Setch is kind of just chilling for a big chunk of that.
He napping.
He's
He napping. Which, is kind of what's happened with the city in some ways. What there's I don't know. The spells you've used and set up, and how many times we run through the ballista, and how low everyone's passive perception check. Like I'm not worried about that part. Um, like it's more worrisome if you like return there for some reason than actually like the first interaction. Or we can go to the forest people. And do the reunion with the children and start to build into your guys' preparation for ambushing the army that you guys were talking about for the dwarves. And um, so what say you?
I'm down either
Oh,
which
sounds
way.
cool.
I have ideas for the forest, and I obviously have ideas for the city, so I
Yeah.
can go either way.
In the city, I get to murder more.
Yes.
In the forest, I get to be a dad. Tough decisions.
Mm-hmm. Murder or being a father, you know?
Dude.
Well, enough sessions in the forest, he'll go to murdering.
He will. Yes.
He'll get there.
Eventually, he's gonna be bathing in dwarf blood. We all know this. So
It's just what happens immediately.
Um.
Yeah. I do have to go now. I have
All right.
two inspo, and I recommend Farwin for our lovely roleplay.
Appreciate it. I would also give my
Mhm.
inspiration to yours as well. Very insightful in the psychology of Mel.
No, that
Thank
was
you, thank
that
you.
was like I almost had two full pages of notes for that role. Your
Mel
guys'
psyche
roleplay.
is crazy.
Mm. Mel is insane, y'all.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All
I
of
gotta-
you. Okay, I think all of your characters are insane. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yes.
You're
not wrong.
Okay, but out of the eviler side, who's the
Yes.
most insane?
Of the evil side, honestly, I lean towards Tenebris, who just murdered 13 people.
You know what? That is fair. I walk into that one.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's murderable, but we're talking evil.
But we have
Have a
Amu
good
who
night,
just
bye.
caused an
Bye-bye.
entire
Take care.
earthquake at
Yes,
the whim
but
of a
at the
suggestion
same
from a
time,
drunk
you
man.
have Setch, who's planning to unleash an entire terrace that will kill
I'm not
hundreds of.
insane.
Bro, I'm still good. I'm at a 13, man. I'm reaching. I was at a 20 before we started all of this shenanigans, so I'm good. I'm
Who am I
hanging out.
missing?
Well,
Oh, I'm missing that one.
well, I still have.
I've got 2 inspiration left, and I want to give mine to Mel because she asked all the right questions.
Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, that was so good. Like,
Oh,
that one point when I was like, well, you're technically not lying, but alright. That was a close one.
right.
And like, yeah, both of you rolling 20s, but you just consistently getting 3 to 5 points higher than her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Okay. Does anyone else, as you deliver inspo, want to speak to where we start next time?
I recommend the Evil Cheese Man, and
Evil
I'd
Cheese
say
Man.
Who's that?
Forest. Fallen.
Oh,
Fallen. Evil Cheese.
I'm like,
I came in towards the tail end of that, so my brain forgot.
What?
I'm like, okay, yeah, but there's also a rat person. Like, which one are you leaning towards? Like,
Yes.
All right, Tenebris, you got any leftovers?
I've got 4 inspiration.
Goodness.
damn,
Holy. Dude,
I
I
didn't use
also
any.
have 4. I don't know what to do
double
with it.
damn.
Damn, you could use that for inspiration to get that paladin in there.
Eat, can I do that?
What?
Not. If you want to spend it, sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
Then it's no longer XP. Uh.
Meh.
Okay, so Paladin. We're gonna say the Paladin arrives during this.
Oh.
What-
I completely forgot about it because I never really have an inspiration.
Okay, if you didn't see from the token, this guy is not the same guy.
Hmm.
They're all Mongol folk look the same anyway.
They can all know.
Spoken like a true racist elf. I love it. Okay. So, all right. We'll see what happens from that.
So I still have the one thing I wanted to do though.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got distracted with Jenny leaving.
That's fine. I wanted to, as Amu watches the bodies fall to the ground, he will like. How far away is the bird folk?
Here, I'll give you a map.
To the map. Okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah, the elves and such decided to surround him.
That's not ominous at all.
That's pretty funny, guys.
But so Amu, looking at all of it, would kind of his timid nature would stop his hands would settle, and then his neck is going to crick as he cocks his head a little bit, and the invisible spores that normally surround him uh, begin to glow as he casts his wild shape with a symbiotic entity, and he will gain. Ah, shit. What was the calculation again? He'll gain 68 points of temporary hit points. And
spore druids, yes.
and then he's going to
How many 10 HP?
68.
Holy fuck.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
armor, bro.
And he'll look at the Avis and just raise his paw as he cast Blight
No.
against him.
Dude, the
Yes,
blight.
fucked.
And I will spend 1 inspiration to guarantee he has disadvantage.
Okay. I can give you the actions for symbiotic entity
Okay.
as like a
Oh,
prep
that's
thing.
an action. Right.
Yeah. So, so we'll say,
I mean, we could just save that for next time anyway. If
you can
needed.
save that for next time. Well, the question I have. Yeah, he rolled a higher initiative than you. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
My initiative is quite shite.
but nevertheless. Okay, cool. So when necrotic energies are around you, gathering in your hand, I love it. All right, and I will, if you want, we can say, if you want, you can keep that inspiration spent to give him disadvantage.
Yeah, since it
On the
technically
save.
Yeah, since it's
Yeah.
not technically being used right now.
That's fine. That's fine. I love it. I would like to, just say another, like Vedwin, Eros, and Greed. You guys had to sit in the back end a little bit today, so as we pull
Yeah.
through things, so I appreciate your guys' patience as the city. You guys are all over the place.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
I not because I was bored or anything, just because I was tired. I literally fell asleep for an hour, just laying in my chair. So I didn't even notice.
Mine's been falling asleep, but I'm all good.
Like I was just, it's been a fucking long ass week, so I was just tired as fuck. Like, I would otherwise I was gonna pay attention. And
It's all good, man. It's all good. We there was just, we had Jenny. I wanted to take opportunity to build some of that stuff again. Does Birdman have any leftovers?
Dude, yeah, I have 4. I also don't
Okay.
know what I should do with my 4. if
Oh,
I
you're
wanna
gonna
do
spend
anything
it.
with
You're
I
gonna.
wanna spend it on something, but I could also pass it.
You could.
Use it. Let's see, like, how dire is the situation that we're in currently that we're gonna walk into down here, bro? Does it look really bad?
You know, I didn't think we're gonna actually walk into the building, but now that we're in the building, I think we could use as much luck as we can get. The last thing we want is a
how
building.
does it look, bro?
The how do I word this? It is a level 17 complex trap.
Oh my god. Okay.
So it's not like I designed it for your guys' level. I made it so it's something so like a lot like the NPCs that are not equal to your level are gonna struggle with this. You guys will probably be okay as long as you're kind of working together and stuff like that. You'll probably be okay. But like it's a big. I wanted it to be a big challenge where it's like you get for the NPCs, you guys, will you have a chance to kind of save some of these people? Some of the people are just already fucked, so it's just how the dice rolled. But nevertheless, you can use it. I don't know. Inspiration has so many different ideas. I have an idea.
Uh-oh.
I I have an idea of something that could help you. If you want to spend your inspiration, I can give you a clue into how to begin. What's the word? Stabilizing the building to help you all.
Oh my god. Wait, that's so important.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, dude. I'll do it. Why not? This will be a good thing for us going into this trap.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to modify. So Birdman from his current position. Okay. So Birdman, we're gonna say narratively speaking, Birdman kind of runs ahead of Fallen. He's more of the roguey type anyways. He picklocks the door. He finds three Lupin that have been crushed on the rubble that's been falling apart. You're pretty sure this side no one's gonna be able to get through without like digging them out. This guy's begging for help. You pretty sure this one over here is dead. And as you look over this dead guy, you can see that there's some extra weight that is kind of gathered around where the weight-bearing walls and kind of foundations are kind of structured over in this position. And you look over to there, and then you're kind of looking back to Falwyn, who's talking back at the people with Killian forming up the plan. And you see that the way everything kind of leans onto this side of the room as well, there's some
Are you
extra
phasing?
pressure.
I might be on like a different map, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh yeah, I'm still on.
I'm getting. You're like indicating
There you
pings
go.
and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I got you.
I got you. That's my fault.
Dark. Oh right, big map.
Okay, so there's some wolves gathered here. There's a dead wolf that's like under this piece of rubble here. And the way this structure is kind of gathered into here, you think this structure and this structure back here are kind of keen and important to reinforcing at least an exit strategy for this. And then those structures go down into where you saw Mel running, and going down to the prisons. You're pretty sure you need to reinforce those structures, which will require a big, strong person, and then you see Killian. You're going to need more than one really strong person to help you. So there's kind of that issue. But nevertheless, um, if you have well, Mel's pretty strong. If you have two people above and below on the same structure, and they can find a way through magic or whatnot, grabbing a big pillar, a piece of boulder, or whatnot to reinforce these things, it will give you guys a reduction, more or less, in kind of some of the crap that's going to happen, I guess, with the trap.
Okay.
And if you're able to do it, and you're pretty sure, like, if you're able to do it on both places at the, if you're sure, like, both places are kind of important. If you can do both, you might be able to, like, alleviate, like, the whole need for you guys to roll initiative, basically.
Oh, hey.
But that will still take a few rounds to do. So it'll be definitely something easier for when Nova's here to kind of help with Killian to kind of lay out some of those things. And then Falwyn with his magic and stuff can definitely do some things to assist with that.
Well, depends. You put Batman in a situation about prep time.
You know, you're not wrong in some ways. You know, but nevertheless,
I don't think Batman. I think Birdman is like Rain Man more than Batman. It's kind of just like on the fly movement, like oh shit, like that's this here, that way, that way. He's not going into situations like I wonder if the structural integrity of this building can take it, like Batman.
And I want to say the only reason why I kind of offered this thing for Birdman is because this is where you've worked for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Like you have a much more intimate knowledge as a PC of this particular structure. You know, the only other means would be like this would be one of those absolute epic instances where it'd be like, "Hey, dwarf, roll me a stone cutting check."
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
he's also an urban ranger too. So
And yeah, the urban ranger helps too.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, your character is kind of designed for this entire like setting, so which is fun. I particularly enjoy that part of Rangers. Okay. Um, Birdman does that. Does Amu have any leftover?
yes, I have 2 left over, and I will. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna just hand my recommendation over to Tenebris. Uh,
Yay.
just cause. I mean, you know, you gotta have some murder hobo at some point near a black hole.
Yeah. Well, I love Tenebris because like I understand why he does what he does. Like I do. I don't know if you all do, but I understand why he does what he does. So that's why.
Because his master is more evil than he is, and he wants to.
There's another
Yeah,
layer.
he's
There's another layer
evil.
to it.
Forward is
But
evil.
he is evil. Yes.
Farman is evil as fuck, bro. And anybody that tries to say he's not,
He absolutely is evil.
he is like the definition of evil.
I mean,
bro.
he's literally one part of the entire roleplay was, yeah, I don't really care about the city. If it falls, I'm leaving anyway. It's just an experiment to me.
Today,
So,
dude,
you know.
he goes, you know, I could save civilians, but what if I just saved everybody that's pertinent to my ideals right now?
You know, what if I help the people who can help me?
Help me.
Help me help them.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Yep. He just ran past 2 people begging for help. No.
Yeah.
I said Killian can take care of the civilians. He's more equipped to do it.
There's like wolves dying like under a rock. You're
It's
like,
like-
Killian can take care of
Yeah.
it.
Like, you
Well,
can cast telekinesis, like, nah. Let someone
There's
actually
a-
use their strength.
There's a ooh. I forgot one thing.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, that doesn't happen until later. Never mind.
Oop.
Sorry, I got excited about something because I put
Oh,
something
he almost
somewhere.
spilled it.
Yeah.
I almost spelled something.
He
No,
almost
no,
spoiled it.
Almost has it.
no,
He
no.
almost gave us a little
yeah.
tea.
Okay, well, anyone?
Please don't.
Does Fawan have any left over? I just.
I gave my inspo to Mel, but I have 3
Okay.
points that I can put into myself, I
Okay.
suppose.
I love it.